All right. Welcome, everyone. It's FreedoniaCon 2025. It is also time for my favorite, 1879 group. I'm Andi,
Who are they?
the supposedly the GM. And with us is, everybody want to introduce yourselves and your characters?
Yeah, I'm Joel. I'm one of the 1879 and Earthdawn writers. I'm playing Morgana Temple Whitworth, who is an elven aristocrat.
August?
So, my name is Michelle, and I'm playing August Ezekiel Ford, who is an elven investigator.
I have a question. When did he become an investigator?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe at the beginning of the game.
Miss River.
I mean, technically, aren't we all? I'm Lexi. I play River, the Elven Explorer, and technically, aren't we all investigators?
You actually are all
yes,
investigators.
But his profession is investigator too. So
Investigator.
Yeah.
He's like investigator squared. All right. Drew.
Hi, my name is Drew, and I play Mick, the Troll Soldier.
Chris.
You're on mute, Chris.
Chris, you press the little red microphone on the lower
Yeah,
left.
I know. I actually forgot about it. Yeah, hi, my name is Chris. I one-time writer for 1879. Also, I play Waymont the Mage.
And going to help me with maps. I have begging to do.
You want maps? I got maps.
Well, I need
Chris.
specific maps, but I have begging to do later, Mr. Chris.
Chris.
All right.
What does Waymont do?
He's a mage.
What? No.
Explains the magic.
When did he become a mage?
He's also an investigator if you really want to be pedantic about it.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what it's like.
This is a table that acts like every real table out there. This is how it works.
Yeah.
Brad, I think you're next, last.
Yep, I am Brad Decker. I'm the line developer for 1879, and I play Nigel Fulmer, who is a Galvanic mage.
And the token human.
Oh, he's a mage too.
And token human, and the owner of the parrot.
And the owner of the parrot. Because he's the only one crazy enough to sit out there and try to catch a parrot.
And our carnivorous parrot.
On him.
Sorry, what was that,
Are
Drew?
you sure that you own the parrot and not owned by the parrot?
Well, the parrot's a familiar. So,
Going to be.
Bound with the parrot, I suppose.
I mean, it's getting pretty familiar.
1 second, guys. I can't hear Drew.
Oh, I was just making the same comment Lexi was.
Oh. All right. So who wants to do our recap? We need a good recap because there are some people who are just joining in. River could do our recap. River, want to do the recap?
I'll pass.
We'll pass. Joel, tag, you're out. Or you're it.
Oh, it's right. So we are currently, as somebody may have picked up, investigators. We all work for the same investigation firm, and we are currently on, I believe, 2 cases. The case that I think is probably most important is that a noble contacted the agency via Morgana, asking for a little assistance with what this is a family curse, which is the family is cursed to all males of the line become werewolves. Morgana is secretly hoping, having an understanding of noble family trees, that this doesn't go back too far, because that could mean that every male aristocrat in Britain is a werewolf, technically. But that's inbreeding for you. On the other hand, they have a magical ring that reduces the effect of the curse. The ring was stolen. We found the ring at a auction house, and the combination of excellent multi-forms of persuasion and throwing money at it. We have returned the got there, and are currently on the hunt for the actual thief, who has a hideout in a not particularly good area of London, with a little bit of assistance from local bird life and local street urchins. We have established where his place is and are attempting to ambush the car on the roof so we can bring him in for questioning.
Is Joe cutting in and out for everybody else, or with me?
Yeah.
He cut in and out
He
a
was cutting
little,
out
but
for
it
me.
wasn't bad. Sorry, Drew.
He was cutting out for me for about half of that.
No. Yeah.
I mean, I guess
I was going to say,
to
Chris,
surmise, shenanigans happened, and then we know where the ring is now.
Yep.
And we're looking for the thief.
yes. I will.
Well, the ring has been returned home.
Yes, the ring is home, but
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
looking for the thief. You between Waymont making a friend and some River talking to local creatures and some others talking to the local urchins, you've pretty much tracked him to a not great neighborhood and a 3-story building that's in, we will say it, poor repair. The bottom floor seems to be a gathering of homeless people. And then, as far as you can tell, they're either in the middle floor or he's on the top floor. But you were warned that he has some not nice looking friends that join him. But you weren't sure.
Well, we're going to have to deal with that.
Who all was in there, who all wasn't. You did find that there is a ladder. The ladder does, I think most of you had even started to climb up the ladder. I think you guys were up on the roof. The only one who was going to have trouble with the ladder was Mac, who looked at it and kind of said, I'm how big again? And that looks like, And then I was trying to remember, did Drew get up on the roof by climbing the building? Or how did we get Drew up on the roof? Did we get Drew up on the roof?
Levitation.
Brad, does that sound right?
I believe it was levitation.
Yeah, I have a levitate spell.
So you guys levitated Mac up onto the roof.
Yes.
Okay. So.
Oh, he's up there.
So
we made sure
all
of
of you are up on the roof. You
River
are fairly
is on
certain.
the opposite roof, I believe.
River's on the opposite roof. River had taken up kind of a let's just be honest, sniper position.
I do have one other point, which is we identified the fella that's in rivalry with the werewolf lord fella, and we suspect but don't know that he was behind hiring the thief to steal the ring as part of their one-upsmanship. And so part of the goal of capturing the thief is to get evidence as to where the threat came from, so that the family is not exposed as part of the political machinations on the councils of lords.
And that is all absolutely on point. So, the roof up here, especially for Mac, looks like this isn't even a roll. This is some of this roof doesn't look in great shape. So Mac is going to want to be very careful where he steps. There is almost like an outhouse shed up on this roof with a door, which you believe leads to the staircase going to the 3rd floor. There are some very thin looking areas, though.
Just asking the others, it's going to be a little difficult for me to move around on here without falling through to the room below. Do you want me to just smash a corner and we'll take a peek inside?
Maybe worth it.
I would say let's avoid that for now, just because we don't know if there's anybody else inside that may end up setting things off early. We'll probably
we probably want to keep a low profile until. Yeah.
Anyone want me to hold them by their feet over the edge of the building and they can look in a window?
That would be a no.
Yum.
What?
Super comfortable with that.
I love this idea.
I know you do. That's why we don't.
Well, I mean, what would be the chances that he botched while holding you by your ankles? I mean, come on. It's slim. It's a slim chance. It would be funny.
Are there any gaps that I can see through windows from my vantage point?
Which is a good point because a lot of the windows were boarded up. Some boarded on the inside, some on the outside. Why don't you give me an awareness check and we'll see if you spot something.
I would also like to do an awareness to see if I hear anything while we're on the roof, and I'm being careful with listening for the sound and getting an idea where I may be able to move nearby without falling through the roof.
That's a good idea. Also, I know that there's a few people who might be able to help point out better pathways on the roof due to the fact that they're good at building engineering-esque things.
Yeah, I was about to say, for looking for pathways, let me do that with civil engineering because that'd probably be the more appropriate skill.
That would definitely be the more appropriate skill.
22.
Where is it?
All right. So.
Whereas I just got building security, so.
All right. I'm just going to have everyone say the number so I don't have to bounce around trying to find where we posted them. Unless you're posting in the main room. If you post in the main room, I have that up, so it'll be easy. But
yeah, I was going to post mine there, but that's fine. I got 9 on civil engineering.
Okay. So.
And you want an awareness check? Yes.
If you're trying to hear things, awareness would be your best. Well, no, awareness is. Hold on. Perception check, because awareness is specifically sight. So if you're trying to hear things, or is it wrong?
No, awareness is just you're actively looking. Perception would be if you're passively seeing. You're not actively looking for something. You just pick stuff up.
So then awareness still works. Got it. Okay. Double check.
Okay.
All right. So I've still got you on a 22, River. I have not forgotten. Brad, on your 9. Yeah, you're pretty sure you have a good idea where some of the beams are. And if he stays on the joist and the beams, he's most likely safe. So you have a fairly good path picked out. Sorry, what was that, Chris?
10 from me for awareness.
10. And Drew, what was your awareness?
Mine was a 12. And I will see if I can note where the beams are in response to listening.
Yeah, I was waiting for. I was going to say, since I'm the one.
I don't know that you'll know where the beams are, but Nigel will, and he'll explain that in a second. Really quick, did August and Lady? Oh my goodness!
Oh,
sorry, no.
Joel's character. No.
Morgana got an 11 on awareness.
Do August and Morgana want to do awareness checks so that I can handle everybody together?
I made an awareness 11. Well, perception 11 because I don't have awareness yet.
Okay, so 22, 18, a 12, and 11. I think another 10 or 11. All right. So on the 10 or 11s, you guys aren't aware of. You're not much, right? On the 18, August, You actually hear some discussion going on, possibly a bit of a raised voice, but it sounds distant. So you're guessing that it's probably not directly below you, possibly on the second floor or at
Okay.
a different point of the third floor. It's weak,
Mhm.
but definitely some sort of maybe disagreement happening. Um,
Yeah.
then River, you catch, and it's not enough for you to get a shot off. It's too small of an area. It's more of a shadow that crossed between the boards, moving around on the second floor. And you're just catching when they walk in front of that window that's boarded up. Not a good shot unless you wanted to try to shoot through the board, which you technically can do, but you don't really have a clear view of what you're shooting at, just that there's movement on that second floor. And then I will leave Nigel to explain stuff about where probably a safe place to walk to Mac.
Yeah, as I was going to say, I was just going to take out. We should have like some sort of piece of chalk or some sort of a marking knife or something like that. I make a mark, and I'll just go around. Just try to put like on the center for where the beams are. I'm not going to like map the entire roof, but it'll be in a grid pattern. So just a couple of marks to generally point to where everything is.
At least good enough to get you to that doorway to the staircase down.
Yeah, and I would recommend that everybody, while we're up here, if we're moving around, try to stay on the beam so we minimize how much noise we're making.
That is also a very, very valid point.
On the subject of noise, there are people downstairs.
I'll whisper to the others. I want to take my rope and tie it off where I can quickly grab it and just like swing down to the ground if necessary to minimize the fall as a quick escape route if we need it. It'll be looped so I can detach it later.
I've got the levitation spell, and that lasts for like a half hour.
Okay, just make a mark where it is, and I'll jump over there.
It'll be in the same spot where you came up. Just remember where you came up from.
So
Toss a pebble at Mac and indicate towards the second floor for possible bad guys.
I give a thumbs up and I make soldier signals to the others, even though they probably don't understand them. But I'll roll my eyes and make it clearer with pantomime.
I kind of want to know how good you do on this. Do you have any type of, I guess, pantomime skill? I don't know what would that fall under.
Performance or
Performance of some form? Sorry, Drew.
Life in the military?
Yeah, which would be good for military, but how are you pantomiming it to the others? I'm just curious on how well Mac does with this.
I mean, the military would have established signals there.
Right.
It's just a matter of whether or not we would understand.
You know what?
So that would
Let's
be
roll
our
that.
check to
We're
see,
gonna
can we figure out what's going on?
You do your life in the military. We'll see how good you do, and then we'll see how good they understand.
We actually, this is a running gag in the West Marches that I take characters that have the hand signals and nobody understands them. So nod to that.
As I've been practicing
Anyway.
my ASL, a lot of people, it's kind of an ongoing joke because now we've even got a few other people who are doing ASL at the table, so that half of us kind of know what the other ones are saying and half don't. So yes, I get this. It's quite fun. So you roll that for me real quick, Drew.
I did, and I rolled a 9.
A 9. Okay. So everybody else, wanted to see how well you understand the pantomime.
What do you want us to roll for this?
Well, I was going to say, what do you
probably be straight
have?
perception.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably straight perception.
Unless you've got a military skill, that's probably all we'll understand.
Right.
If he was using a fan, Morgana would be fine.
Yeah, well, that's that. I mean, that's a whole language of its own. So are flowers.
Empathetic sense?
You know what? I'll take empathetic sense. And roll that first, and we'll see how well you do, and we'll give it as a bonus to your perception. Look, that's fair.
Okay. Right, I got an
I was
8
going to roll
on the
perception.
on the empathetic sense.
So give yourself a step up on your perception.
I have
Okay.
a 10 on an empathic sense.
Ooh, I'll give you 2 steps up.
Ooh. That's-
Old D6 and a D8. This is going to be hilarious.
Okay, you know how I feel about your all's D8s. We've had that discussion.
I mean, yeah, I do know that, but you know, it's you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I'll be
Right,
fine.
I got a 10.
Thanks
I
so
got
much.
10.
Give me a moment. I'm just, for Andy, I just need to take a photograph. Because I just was rolling something involving a D8 as
One
well.
of these days, I'm going to go to the UK, and I will kick you in the shins. Or I will see you at Gen Con, and I will kick you in the shins.
You
I mean,
can
I'll
kick me
ask
in the
Michelle
shins at Gen
first.
Con.
I'll ask Michelle
Please
first to make
don't.
sure.
Oh, you can kick him.
I can kick him.
You
See?
can kick him.
See? I know how to ask politely. All right.
As a fellow ref to a fellow ref, I fear it's only fair that you get to kick him because he causes me pain on a regular.
Damn D8s. All right.
16! 16, because the
16.
D8 second roll was a
All right.
7.
So your perception is a 16. August, what was your perception? 8?
I've just popped it in the chat.
Yep.
8 on a non-empathic sense boosted roll because I could have, but I didn't want to.
Okay. Chris and Brad?
10 from me.
Well, I got a 2.
You got 10.
A 10? Okay.
I got a 2. So as
On
I
a
posted
2,
the
you're
image
like,
in the chat, that's
why
that's the
is...
translations that I. So what I see is check out the gun show, pew pew pew, bump it.
Face
Yeah.
masking, 15 yards.
Yeah, well, there's one of those in every unit. I'm not going there. I just roll my eyes. We're good.
So at that
August.
point, when I get the 2 and I see him doing his hand signals and I don't know what the hell's going on, I'm just going to cast send message over to Ripper and just say, "What the hell is he saying?"
Does the send message allow for a reply?
Yeah, I can get a reply back.
Possible contact.
Okay.
So,
How does that equate to that?
Waymond and August, you're pretty sure the general gist is that there are multiple people on the second floor. Morgana, you're like, he absolutely said there are multiple people on the second floor. River spotted them over in that corner over there.
Okay.
They made more up from her dad, her father, who was in the military.
Must be. She remembered
Does,
something
Who
useful.
knows?
It certainly wasn't from Mordecai.
No.
Does your empathic sense pick up? Can you tell where people are or what's going on? Scan the area where we've spotted the hospital?
No, it's
No.
not. It's not that magical.
It's more of a social thing, really.
Yeah,
It's more-
it's reading people socially.
Yeah.
It doesn't even do that in Earth. Life sight, that's what we need.
All right.
Although astral sight, we should at least be able to pick up their astral patterns if we needed to target them.
Somewhat, but I thought astral sight didn't actually go through walls.
It won't go through living material.
Okay.
Yeah, so like raw stone or,
Okay.
grass or trees.
Living stone, yes, exactly. But
This
this
it will go
is
through.
all very much dead wood.
But do understand that on the bottom floor there are people.
Yeah, it'd show up like a radar scan or something. What?
Right.
Let's find out where the
Yeah,
hospital.
and it's going to get much fuzzier and hazier the further away they are. So you can probably see people who are immediately below us.
I would like to know where the potential targets are, and I'd like to know where the innocent bystanders are, so we can avoid harming them.
So as far as you know, at this point, What you know at this point is that there are homeless people who live in the bottom floor. Nobody went and took a head count, so you just know that they're there. You've seen several. You've been told that there are several who live down there. It's a good place to get out of the weather. As far as targets, what you know of at this point is that there's at least 2, because, like I said, August heard some sort of conversation happening. That is what you know at this point, while you stand on a rickety roof and or sniping position from the other roof. Although, River, because of how the windows are boarded up, unless they go out into the open, you might want to just go ahead and join them. You're not going to get very good shots off because of how much of the windows are boarded up.
Yeah.
But at least you did see which corner of the building, because you could see the shadows move a bit. So it's up to you. You can stay exactly where you're at, because they may end up outside in the open, on the roof, whatever. I have no idea what they're going to do. But as far as shooting into the building, especially since you know that there are people on the bottom floor and that it's not in great repair, it's very dangerous to shoot into that building.
Andi.
11 to jump across.
Good jump. Yes, August.
Is the door to the stairs, is that, has it got a lock on it or something? Because I think stealth is going to be more important than...
And
I'll
would
go
you
and have a
believe
look.
that the lock looks a lot shinier, newer, and in better shape than pretty much everything on this building?
Really? Wow.
I know you're super surprised.
I know, right? I have lock picking. I will go and examine the lock and see if I can open it.
So when you walk across, I need some sort of stealth, acrobat, something, just so that you don't step someplace poorly.
But I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then absolutely, I'd like to see how you undo the lock.
Excellent. I will also detect it for traps first, before I attempt to undo it.
You're going to check for traps first? Crazy talk. I shan't allow
Yeah,
it.
right.
I shan't allow that.
I won't then.
Do we also want to make sure it's not warded?
Well, I don't want you to.
One of our one of our handy mages.
8 on the dex check.
Very good.
Not
No
great,
problems.
but
You get
above
across.
stuff, so I'll take that. Oh, detect trap. Oh, I can get a tick. Cool.
Just in case.
Yeah, do you want to...
on the shooting through things. So things that I guess a lot of people don't realize is that bullets often go through walls. There have been cases of poorly constructed buildings where like a 9mm will go through a couple of houses before it finds a stud and just stays put. So shooting when you can't see and you don't know how bad the floors and stuff are, but you have a guess. And I did say this to River because River's character would know about penetration with bullets that she's using. And I figure River wouldn't want to shoot where she might hit innocent bystanders. Right, River?
Yeah, she probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I know.
So
She's
she'll
so
switch
dejected
to...
about that.
She's so dejected about it. It's like, stupid bystanders.
She's switching to the room sweeper.
Stupid bystanders.
So it was 6 for detect traps. So I think it's safe.
Yeah, that's fine.
Brad does have the right of it. In Britain, we built houses out of stone, not plywood.
Yes. But this
Or
thing's
brick,
in
probably
bad
in London.
shape, and the stone is more on the outside and less on the in between the floors. So the worry would be is that she shot through the boarded up window and that it then traveled down to one of the lower floors. And that's what she would be concerned with. And like I said, she's enough of a gun person that River would know that that's a shooting through the brick wall. That's problematic. You know. All right. So yes, you don't think there's any traps. You're fine. Anybody else walking over towards there? Nice. You make quick, easy work of the lock. August just goes over there as if she's a pro. As if August is a pro and just click, click, done. Unlocked. Everybody who walks across to get to the doorway needs to roll some sort of stealth or acrobatics, something to just make sure that you are careful that you go where you were marked and not where you weren't.
Could I blag it off court dancing?
Perhaps Stealthy Stride. That'd do it.
Stealthy Stride would be awesome for this. Court dancing.
One night though, so, you know.
You know what? Just for kicks and giggles, you're at a -2, but sure, why not court dancing? It's not quite the same. Drew, you're fine.
11 on Stealthy Stride.
Waymond at an 11, you're fine.
And while they're making their way across, August will, as quietly as possible, open the door.
I can roll for you, Brad. I got my magnet dice out. So while you guys are going across, several of you notice that Morgana is literally waltzing, but stepping in the correct spot. So that seems fine. That seems normal. I mean, pretty, but odd.
It's just a more a case of being very careful about where she's putting her feet and stepping that way, but there might be just a little bit of rhythm to it.
River,
she's also a fencer, so you know.
You have no trouble whatsoever. You do pause in a couple of places because, well, it's really just interesting watching Morgana as she's doing this, and you didn't want to get underfoot. And it was interesting, you know. More Pavane.
Yeah, possibly Pavane. You're probably quite correct, Pavane.
My fancy Brits.
Pavane, I think.
And yes, I know.
That's because we do medieval stuff, so you know.
I know. I was teasing Joel yesterday about the SCA stuff. I'm like, "Where's your documents?" I know crazy SCA people. Yep. They got documents. They don't just pull out a recipe. They did research and stuff.
What?
Step 6.
I just like to, you know, be what's called a stick jock and hit people. But I failed miserably at being just a stick jock. Anyway, I digress.
You have a 7, Brad, so you get across. You were fine. You guys are all there, and like I said, August makes it look easy. Like suave and smooth. Unlocks it and quietly opens the door to downstairs. Oh, wait. He did check for traps and didn't see any traps.
Well, hold on. Let's do an astral sight in that door and make sure there's no magic traps, eh?
Oh, yeah, she already opened it. Sorry, he already opened it. But you can look.
Oh. I mean, looking would be a good idea. Magic traps are a thing.
They are.
Hey, I pointed out checking for wards and no one stepped up.
I did hear you because I answered you where I said that, well, I didn't want them to, but no one ever actually listens to me. But
18 on astral sight.
Oh yeah, that had a ward, and the ward is triggered. It reminds you. It reminds you of actually really quick. Do a magical analysis.
Magic theory. Do.
Yeah, magic theory. Sorry.
Okie dokie. That's 21.
It reminds you a lot of Nigel's message spell. So you feel like whatever it did, it sent a silent message to someone or someone's. And since you rolled so well, you're pretty sure it went to someone's. Matter of fact, you rolled, what was it again on your theory? 20?
21.
21, yeah. There are.
It's 21, yeah.
With that high, you actually notice that there are 5 distinct like threads going to send the message to 5 distinct people.
I will see to the rest. There was a magical ward on that door. 5 people know we're coming.
Bother.
Sorry, should have done that beforehand.
So now that the alarm has been sounded, do you just want to go down the stairs and catch them before they can prepare too much, or what do you want to do?
We best move quickly, whatever we do.
Yes, let's move.
I would like to be in the front to give you guys some shelter in case something goes off. Let me know if you spot a trap or anything while we go down the stairs.
Do my best.
Mac follows the standard military thing, like you've seen in all those cop shows, where go down against the wall, all of that kind of movement.
So I need a dex or something, because again, a lot of this, and Nigel hasn't had a chance to look through all of it. A lot of this is not in good repair. So I want to make sure he doesn't fall through a floor.
I hear you. I was using Stealthy Stride on the roof to move quietly along. Is that something I can continue to use for this kind of movement?
It would make you quiet.
Moving
sure.
slowly. Yeah.
You'd be moving
okay.
slowly with it, but yes.
Okay. Keeping a very paranoid survivor of military trenches, moving down with a roll of an 8.
An 8, okay. I'm going to give Nigel a moment. He's typing. All right.
River will be second.
Yeah, Morgana will probably go third then.
I was gonna make a suggestion, but I will keep it to myself. Silly GM.
River would make for better because room sweeper.
Okay. So everyone else, you need to make some sort of being careful where I put my feet rule. Nigel.
You want another stealthy stride then?
Yeah, you can do stealthy stride. I'll allow that. I was going to say, Nigel, if you want to roll your civil engineering first and get a bonus, I would happily allow that. River's got an 8 on dex.
Morgana has a 9.
9. Very nice.
10
August,
from me.
August is making it look good. Waymont's fine. Your D12 exploded. If you guys keep having this, I'm going to have to take all your dice away, and you're just going to be sitting there with D4s.
But my dice are lovely and amber-coloured and have cogs in them.
Ah, yes. D4s, the most likely to roll up.
Right.
Yeah, they
I don't know. I have to take away all the other dice.
25% chance of rolling up in a D4.
I wanted to give poor Brad a second because it looked like he was trying to type.
Bringing up the rear or one of the majors.
Nigel was bringing up the rear.
All right. Okay. Cool. Sorry,
I'll
I
go
missed
in the
that.
middle.
As we proceed down, does the stairway continue to the first floor? What, I don't know, in Britain, is it ground floor, first floor,
So
second
I'm an
floor?
American. So you went through the doorway, you're on the 3rd floor, then it'll be the second.
The second
But
floor.
I do
Got
believe
it.
that the UK does it very differently, yes. It's basically
Yes, we do it
ground
with
first,
the
second.
ground floor, first, second.
And does the stairway continue?
It does not. You have to get to a different stairway. Yeah. They do ground first, second, but I'm an American, so 3rd, second, first. Mwahaha.
And I would like to awareness when we reach the door at the end of the stairwell, or is it open?
1 second. Brad, do you know what your civil engineering is? I can just roll it for you. Step 11. Gotcha. Oh, piece of candy for Brad. That is a 17. So I'm going to give you a 2-step bonus on whatever dex stealthy stride you're using to not step in a bad spot. So I think for you that was step 6 dex, so it puts you at step 8 dex. Okay. Well, my dice like you a lot there, sir. 18. So you're doing it really, really, yeah. Apparently, maybe they'll like me as much as they like Brad, and that will be good for me. Yay. All right, so all of you are doing just fine. Sorry? What was that,
Maybe
Michelle?
they like the characters.
That might be.
Maybe the dice like the characters.
But then I've got to find, like, I have a set of dice for one table, and we refer to them as the Kill Them All table, or the Kill Them All dice set. And they know I'm serious when I bring that one out.
Oof.
Because for whatever reason, that set of dice hates their characters and rolls wonderfully well against them. So far, I have not found a set of dice that hates you guys. But I own a lot of dice. Just saying, a lot of dice. All right.
Oh yeah, they're in there somewhere. Just keep trying.
Keep trying. Well, that's possibly true, Brad. They might not like me trying to kill all of you. Who says I'm trying to kill all of you? You guys make your own choices.
You do regularly.
Oh yeah, that's
you
right.
did several times.
Yeah, I'm so serious about it. Okay, so you're moving through, and then Mac has an awareness of 13, and would like. What would the hand signal for astral check be, and how would they know? How would they know that?
We went through all this
Like an OK symbol held up to your eye?
Just something that we've agreed on. It does not matter to me. I was thinking maybe pointing at my eyes and then the mage. I don't know.
We'll have to have some
Maybe
discussions
have
and
we
you
agreed
guys
on
practicing
all the time
this.
anyway.
I was going to say, have we actually agreed on anything yet?
I was going
If
to
we
say.
haven't, I will make it regardless and leave it to your intelligence to figure it out.
We're all smart people. We know what our roles are.
Yeah. So I will leave
So
that
I'm
for
going
them
to be
to
astral
decide.
sighting all the way down the stairs.
I was going to say, how long is your astral
I'm
sight
sorry, I
on
think
for? Because it's on for a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's
Rounds, isn't it?
Several.
rounds.
Ranking rounds.
Rank in rounds. So, what's your rank in it?
My rank is 4, so it would be on 4 rounds.
Which is
24
4 times
seconds.
6 is
Yep.
24 seconds. Yeah. So
I mean, I can do it again if I need to.
you can just let me know that you do.
Well, you also have 40. You also have 40-yard range.
But yes, but we're in close quarters. The 40-yard range isn't going to matter so much in a building.
Yeah.
I thought it went through wood walls.
It
It
does,
does go
but the
through wood
further
walls.
out it goes, the blurrier it is. So you
Okay.
definitely.
Well, what do you see if anything?
So if you'll give me a second. So Waymont, you're not seeing anything with a pattern really on the American third floor, UK second floor, on the top floor.
Okay.
You are
So nothing on the
very
top floors.
sure that the second floor, there seems to be a group of patterns together, but you're not getting a distinct enough feel for them at this point because they're down a
Okay.
floor and all of that. And you get very weak signs of definitely people on the ground floor or first floor for the Americans.
Okay, so
which you knew that there were people there.
Yeah, so the people on the first floor or second floor for you Americans, are they moving in our direction, or are they moving in such a way that would indicate that they are setting up an ambush?
They're moving in what you would assume is the same room. So they haven't bolted.
Okay.
As far as what they're
Right,
doing,
but
they're moving in the same room.
Are they in a semicircle, for example, around the door, or around where we'd imagine the door to be?
You're not totally sure because you don't know where the door is on that floor, really? So.
Well, we know where the stairs are.
You know where the stairs are. They are not circling the staircase.
So, like,
because you're going to have to go down this other staircase and then down the hall to get to where they're at.
Right. So how many of them are there in that room?
Roll your astral sight again.
Okie dokie. I can do that. It is possibly my second best skill. So
well, it's
I'm
a
expecting
useful
good things
skill.
from you dice. It is a useful skill. Yes, it is. So 20 on that.
A 20.
See if you keep going on about this, right? I'm gonna post to all over the internet how much of an investigator you are.
You're pretty sure that there are 5, which makes a whole lot of sense. Apparently, all of them were there, and that alarm went to all of them. So you're pretty sure that there are distinctly 5.
Right, so that is the 5.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So on the plus side, there's nobody outside that you're waiting to show up. Ta-da.
Well, I see 2 options here. One is to check for documents on the topmost of the floors, or we continue down and take out the thieves, or at least subdue them to question them and then take documents. Which would you like to do?
The second option.
All right. And then do you want to go through the floor or the walls to bypass any traps they've set up, or do you just want to?
Well, I was thinking we could just sort of shoot them through the wall. But, and this is a big but, if they had wards set up, then one of them is probably a mage.
True.
I want you to be aware of that.
So you want to go through the room or you want to go through the floor?
Go through the wall.
I like surprises.
Floor it is. The lady has chosen. Where's the weakest looking patch of floor?
You might want to ask Nigel that. He's much better at figuring that out than your character would be.
Oh, I was asking the group, so that's a group question.
Why aren't we just using the stairs?
I look at River.
Because I like surprises.
Oh my god. Right, let's stop talking about this and just go and do something, okay?
He's very asleep.
Look, they're there. If we come through the ceiling, surprise.
Well, you could go through the ceiling. I'm going to use the stairs.
We can wait for you to surprise them while they're distracted. We can use the door. That seems sensible.
I mean, it would blow them up if it wouldn't burn all the evidence. But you know.
Oh, you guys are great. All right, so who is doing what? So that I keep track of all of you.
I think Morgana and August are going to use the door, but wait for the fight to start before we join in, and use the stairs together on the grounds that I don't think either of them fancy dropping a story and breaking that and going straight through the floor.
Well, I'm not going to let them get shot for opening the door. So Mac will go to the front, open the door from the side, and if nothing shoots in, he'll give cover to the others going through. And I give the what it's the shrug to River as we go through.
I have an idea. Right. This might be difficult, but since I'm looking in astral sight, can I tell if any of them are magically active?
Give me, just for, kicks and giggles, a magic theory.
Magic theory. You got it, boss.
And remember, you can check your skills. Just as a gentle reminder.
I am doing that. Yes, I got a 17 on the magic theory.
So yeah, one is totally magically active, probably tied to that ward, and is very much looking back at you.
And would you say that since I can see him through astral space, that I have line of sight on this man?
I would say so. But understand he has line of sight on you.
Excellent.
Do I need an initiative?
First.
We need an initiative. Because if he thinks you're going to act, we need an initiative. All right. Mage v. Mage.
Mage v. Mage. It's some mage on mage action.
Mage on mage.
Oh my god. 17. Holy crap. Right.
I have a 6-sider that likes me today, apparently.
Apparently you do.
Yeah.
Right, let's see. Come on. You can't spend karma on initiative, can you?
I don't think so. Joel or Brad might correct me on that, but I do not believe so.
What, on initiative?
Yeah. Karma, you can't use karma.
Only if you are using a skill that replaces dex for initiative, so probably no.
Right.
Because they only kick in at genuine tier. Or have a special ability that says it, which again, since they kick in a genuine tier, we won't have.
Yes! I rolled a 12 and 12.
I don't know that Mac has levitate, August, versus there is a spot of levitation outside the building that they used to get Mac up. But I think it's tied to the spot is how I understood it. Yeah. I could be wrong.
I rolled an 18.
But that's how I understood it.
Believe it or not.
Yes, it's a platform.
I rolled an 18 on initiative.
You rolled an 18? Are you kidding me? All right, dude, you have the initiative.
I am not kidding you.
You have the initiative?
Right. I want to cast a spell.
I figured that, yes. I was going to cast one too.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's me. I'm casting that spell. So, let's see. I am going to cast Mind Break on this guy, which is a stun spell. It's a stun spell.
Okay.
A spell of stun. So I will reach out my hand and grasp it into a fist, and whisper the words of magic.
So this is going against his mystical defense?
If I can. It is indeed going against this guy's mystical defense, but I need to roll the spellcasting check first. Before I roll any effect or anything like that. So, spellcasting check for me is going to be skill spellcasting 2d10. I really need to increase that. But I'm going to put karma on this because why would you not? You know. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Right, so the spellcasting check comes out as a 19.
Oof.
Nice.
Damn. And he has a really good mystic defense, but that's still a raise.
Right. So now I need to roll my effect check, which is will plus rank. So that'd be will plus 4. My will is 7. So that's 11. And said it's a raise.
Yes.
So that'd be step 12 then. 2d10. Step 12. Could you ask Brad if you can put karma on an effect test, or is that just got to be straight?
Not until you get will force, I believe.
Right. Yeah. Well, I forgot about will force. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's. Don't worry, you haven't got there yet. That's
Yeah.
much higher. That's high level.
No, no. 23.
Okay. So the 23 goes against his mystic defense and mystic armor.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
I think it's just mystic armor for the effect test, but I could be wrong.
Yes, just mystic armor.
That's painful. I think he has to make sure he's still upright. Because that's a lot in one fair swoop.
Is there a wound check as well?
So how does the damage work? Is it all? Yeah, he's gonna take a wound to his brain. Yeah. Because it definitely goes past the wound thing. So he has a wound. It's just a matter of whether or not it kind of knocks him out, right?
Let's see what it says. Wonderful damage to the target. Magician makes a spellcasting test against mystic defense. If the casting spell, well, I'll ignore that bit. If successful, make an effect test for the amount of damage done to the target. Mystic armor protects against this damage. No wounds are done.
No wounds.
No matter how far over the target's wound. No matter how far over the target's wound threshold the damage goes, any damage past 1 point over the target's unconsciousness rating is discarded. If the target remains conscious, they take a penalty to all actions equal to the number of successes scored on the spellcasting test. This penalty affects the target for rank rounds. So 4, basically.
So
one heck of a concussion.
-1.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. But I get to take his mystic armor off. So
Yep.
3. He has a -3 to this. Oh. You.
For reference, my mystic defense is 11.
Is
And
it
I
like
still have a
Urkon
raise.
with the arbitrary 5?
I should double check how this works.
What's the calculation for? Is it like 5 over wound threshold? Make a knockdown test against that.
Yeah.
So net damage, Andy, if it exceeds wound threshold, however much it exceeded, take the difference.
It doesn't do wounds, though.
Come here.
Yeah, but not stun. Non-lethal damage still does knockdown.
Yeah, it's a standard knockdown test.
Yeah.
Although I thought it said specifically it doesn't do knockdown.
No, it doesn't. It didn't say that. It doesn't do wounds.
Oh, it doesn't do a wound. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but it will do a knockdown.
If he would have taken a wound for that amount of damage.
Yes.
He just needs to roll a strength test.
Yep.
Or wound balance if he has it.
I am looking for a spell. And maybe I'm not looking for it correctly. Basically, it's
the important thing is the knockdown modifier will affect his spellcasting if he's that way.
He has a -3 on everything right now for like 4 rounds. Which bit?
I thought it would stack.
But I'm looking for, maybe you can help me out, Chris. Hold person.
I will look in my book.
Control person, maybe?
Hold
person. He doesn't really want to control you. He just wants to stop you from going anywhere.
Hold person.
Movement.
Sorry, what was that, Joel?
Reduce movement, page 391 in the player's guide.
There we go. I hadn't gone far enough.
Yep, there it is. Reduce movement. This spell slows the target's ability to cover distance. The spell only affects living creatures, and animate objects are not affected, obviously. Spellcasting test against Mystic Defense if a group is targeted. I mean, is he targeting all of us or just me?
It's just, I think it's only you, because I don't think he can do it to everybody. I don't think he's that good.
He can, if he wants to.
And he takes a lot of strain for it.
Take a lot of strain for it. Well, let's try it out. He's already at a -3. That'll help.
So it says, if a group is targeted, use the highest Mystic Defense in the group and add +1 to the target number for each additional target.
Alright, so what is the highest Mystic Defense?
Well, I've got an 11. What you guys got?
The modifier
less than that.
Less than 11.
Alright.
Andy, isn't
Hold on 1 second. Let Drew talk.
Isn't the modifier, it's knockdown plus the modifier from the spell effect? He's at a debuff from that as well. Wasn't it -1 or -2 for 4 rounds?
He's at -3 for 4 rounds.
Plus the knockdown.
Which he did the strength test. And so that's already been dealt with. But thank you. Alright, so sorry, River, was yours higher than the 11?
Nope.
No, okay.
Right. So it's 11 +1 for each additional target. If successful, it says, the target's movement rate is reduced by 1 for each success. On a rule of 1, the munition's own movement rate is reduced by 1 for the duration.
Nope. Don't make it. Stupid -3. Waymont. See how you are. However, I will also give you this, Waymont. Go ahead and do another magical theory. Because you know he did something. You're watching him. See if you can figure out what he did.
He did do something.
Well, he was trying anyhow.
13.
13?
Yep.
You're not... I don't know that you've ever seen this spell. But it's not a... It's not like a bolt. It's not like a fireball. It doesn't feel like a damage spell. But he didn't quite pull off whatever it was. So you're not...
He was trying to do
something. But it wasn't... It wasn't something that was deadly or even something that was injurious.
Okay. Wayman will shake his head. There's a mage in there. I've weakened him a little bit.
We should start moving then.
Yeah, once we're attacked, Mac will charge through the door, looking for the stairwell, whatever it is.
Chain spell. That was close to what I was looking for, I think. Was something to bind. It's actually looking
I've got that one.
That was what I was looking for.
Yeah, it's your reduced movement.
Yeah, like I have bind.
Oh, so you have... So maybe reduced movement wasn't the right one, and bind was what I was looking for. Bet you it was bind is what I was looking for, and that means that you knew exactly what he tried to do. He tried to bind you guys. And since you have bind on a 13, you totally realize that that's what he was trying to do. Thank you, Brad.
Well, no.
Bind is what I was looking for. Haha. Words hard. But yes, then you know exactly what he tried to do.
Tried to bind us. Better act fast.
All right.
Yep.
So you guys are rushing down the hall, down the stairs, down the hall?
Yeah, Mac will be in front, providing cover for the others.
All right. Are you still going slowly, Mac, or are you going quickly?
River pops out behind the sheet.
No, once the party's attacked, it's on.
Okay. So I need you to do that, probably a dex, unless you have something better than a straight dex, at a -2.
I have athletics.
I'll let you take athletics.
A roll of 9 on athletics.
Awesome. You do not fall through the floor while you're charging forward. All right, who is after Mac?
River.
River, you're at a -1. And it's Dex unless you have something other than Dex. Sadly, Drew, you are at a -2 because
18.
you're, well, much bigger. 18.
Oh, I want stuff to go flying as I charge. I'm a bull.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it would have
Well, but
amused
you
me if
didn't
you
go
just
through the
run on the
floor.
floor above.
Here you go. The
Yeah, it would have
important part
amused me
is
if you just,
sorry. The
you know,
important part
ran
is you
through.
didn't. Go ahead.
Yeah, it would have amused me if you just run on the floor above them and then just kind of belly flopped through the ceiling.
But you guys are on the first floor in UK, second floor US. You're on the floor that you're heading down the hall to get to the door. Who is after River?
Morgana.
Okay, you're on a -1.
5.
Let's would you prefer, because I bet you behind you is August, would you prefer to give August a chance to catch you before you get your foot stuck in the floor? Or would you rather have another maybe Dex to try to quickly get your foot back out before you fall?
Ooh. Possibly allowing August to catch me.
August? As you're starting to
pressure.
run, you notice that Morgana's foot goes through the floor and she's starting to fall forward.
That's going to be, well, I've got unarmed combat, but it's probably just going to be a Dex, isn't it, really?
Unless you have something that you think would work, but yeah, it would be a Dex.
Yeah, no, it's probably just a Dex check, I'm afraid. You might be falling flat on your face.
Yeah.
7.
7? I'll let you catch her. It's not the most graceful thing, but you manage to kind of catch her so she doesn't fall and you guys can keep moving forward.
Cool.
With that, what's your moving forward?
Thank you.
And remember, you're at a -1 on your Dex.
So 6, so that's 10. Oh, no. That was a 1.
That was a 1?
Yeah.
Oh. So you make sure that Morgana's okay, and you start forward, and for some reason decide to basically step in the exact hole you just pulled her leg out of, and you go through the floor.
Because I'm clever. Oh, yay.
So I need you to take 5 points of physical damage as you've got scratched and scraped and you have fallen and are now on the ground floor. On the plus side, you did not hit any homeless people. They are all looking at you, though. And there's probably 6 people down there that you see.
She fell through 2 floors?
Hi.
No, you guys are on the second floor.
I suggest you leave.
You guys are on the middle floor. There you go. Because you guys were running down the hallway to go open the door. Plus side, the homeless people probably would have helped to break. That's true. They might have been more comfortable than just the ground. Nigel, you are like taking up, I think, the rear. So do you want to try to help haul August up?
I'd just leave him. To be honest.
What? No, we love August. Did you know August is an investigator?
Yeah. It's true. Give him books and he will evidence analysis the heck out of that.
I mean,
You know what?
you're on the middle
you.
floor. August is on the first floor. You could probably reach down, and August could probably jump up, and you could I mean, a floor is give or take 10 foot. August is what? 5'10", 6 foot, 6 foot. So, and Nigel seems like a tall, lanky sort too. So I think that if you reach down and August jumped up, you guys could manage it. That is true, but I never figured that August was super heavy. August seems like a kind of slight build too. It is up to you on.
He is an elf.
It's up to you. You can, because August can always find some stuff and try to climb back up or look for the staircase going up from the first floor. So it is up to you guys on how you want to deal with that. As soon as we're done with that, we've got Drew and River at the door. All right. August? Nigel's, you okay? You need help?
No, I'm grand. You go on.
Okay.
And so he will turn to the homeless guys and suggest that they might want to leave.
I'm going to, in a second, give you a chance to try to persuade them to leave. But you'll be doing that while the front people are opening the door. Nigel,
sure.
You can roll your civil engineering to get a bonus or to try to counteract the negative of running through the rickety hallway. So your civil engineering was a step 11, you said? If I remember correctly? Come back, dice. Magnet dice are cool and fun, but sometimes they stick to each other and make it hard to roll. Okay. All right, roll your dex for running down the hall. I love that. In case someone just is listening to this later, Morgana, mostly for Nigel's sake, because apparently Nigel needs the evil eye of a nice woman, will look quite put out at August plummeting, at least until she hears that August is okay. All right, you
also the one who can actually see her face in this situation. Was more what I was thinking on that front.
All right, Mac, you hit the door first. River's right behind you.
Grunt.
Sorry, what was that?
He grunts as he slams through the door.
Okay, so you need some, I don't know, unarmed combat for the door or just full strength? What are you using?
Is the door as rickety as all the other crap in here?
It looks like it.
I will control myself long enough to handle through rather quickly.
I'm sorry, you cut out for me.
I said I will control myself enough to turn the handle as I go running through, ready to slam into people.
Okay. You turn the handle and you charge in, and there are 5 people, mostly just looking around the room. They seem ready. They have weapons, but they don't seem to be charging back or running at you. Going to bring up
Is one of them
a different
on
screen.
the ground?
So what you see is there's a lady with a sword. She's kind of pretty, fairly well dressed. She's leaning against one of the walls near where there's a boarded up window. Then there's a guy. He's also leaning kind of on the other side of the window with a very obvious 6-iron, fairly big gun. Sitting in a chair, holding his head, is an orc really
Snark,
quick,
they're called Snark.
Waymont. I need you to redo your astral sight for me real quick.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. I'm getting so many checks for this today.
You are.
17.
17. Now,
17.
So that pocket watch thing that's up on his chest, you can see in the picture, that is a very big interest to you. That has a shiny pattern. There might be a few other things in here who have a pattern, but that one that has a shiny pattern.
What picture are we talking about here?
If you go to back into for anyone who's curious, there's a Google Doc called Notitia Private Inquiry Office, and that's where the group notes are. And that is where I've put the picture. So it's the third picture, I believe, down, which is on page 30 of the notes. It's a orc. He's got on a hat. Seems to have on a suit and a gentleman's overcoat that saw better days.
Just looking for the link. Just look for the link to it. Hang on.
Oh. You should have the link. I will go put it in.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Hold on.
If you put it in the chat,
in the main chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, page 30, there's an orc. Everybody else should be able to see, like I said. So the lady has a sword. She's leaning against the wall next to a boarded up window. The guy is leaning on the other side of the window. He has the 6-iron out. She has the sword out. There's the orc. He's holding his head. Now do you see the shiny pocket watch?
I do see the shiny pocket watch.
Yeah, you are severely interested. Sitting on a couch, taking up most of the couch, is this troll with red hair. And probably the closest to you, Mac, when you come in, standing up, is a dude. He doesn't have the face mask on now. But River, you'll be able to see pretty quickly because you're the next to probably go into the room. The fake fur on his face is probably this mask that's actually around his neck at this point. So it's I think actually August or Michelle mentioned that it was probably a balaclava. I think it's the technical term, but yes. So that is.
Doesn't that match the thief who went?
Yeah, he totally matches the thief. He absolutely matches the description of the thief that you have. And he's kind of in the center, and that is what you run into the room and see Mac.
Okay, it looks like the most dangerous of these pictures anyway. Well, the troll.
You cut out, Drew.
The troll is. I said the troll is obviously the most dangerous.
I mean, he's huge.
The mage was a lot more dangerous, but he still has a couple of rounds of -3.
Yeah, that's why I attacked him, because mages are deceptively dangerous.
All right, I think at this point, depending on what Drew does, we're going to have to roll initiative, just as a warning. So what is?
Well, I would.
Sorry, go ahead.
But when Mac bursts through the door, he gives a battle shout, and then the one who attacked us was the mage. So the mage is the one I'm going to attempt to.
So how do you know which one's the mage?
He's Nigel said he had attacked his mind.
Well, actually, it was me, Waymont.
Oh,
hi.
Wayland.
Okay,
Waymont.
Got it.
Waymont, sorry.
Yes.
So I'll go after the guy who's holding his head, and I'm going to grab him and say, I'm going to shout in the battle shout, "Why'd you attack us?" And grab him and hold a knife to his throat and see if
whoa,
don't anybody
hold on.
get this
That's multiple actions. And that would actually
The
have you
battle
walking
powers
past
simple.
the thief. So you're ignoring the thief.
Simple. Yeah, I'm going after the guy that attacked us.
Okay. So, but that gives him an attack of opportunity because you're going to be walking right by him.
Is attack of
Have
opportunity
attack?
a thing?
Isn't
Yeah,
it?
is that a thing? In?
Maybe not. No. Then we're just simply at initiative. Simply at initiative. Yeah. Initiative, everybody.
Oh, hooray. Do I get to keep my previous initiative or do you want it again?
Oh, this is new round, new initiative.
Right, okie dokie.
See,
my initiative.
It was a really good initiative, and I would, but this is like Urton in the every round gets an initiative, if I remember correctly, and I'm not crazy today.
I know. So I've rolled it, and I rolled a 10.
Roll a 10.
10.
All right, so I have Mac at an 11. I have Waymont at a 10. August is at an 8.
I mean, obviously, I'm in the other room, but
River's at but you're going on your turn and trying to get the other people out of the building.
Yeah.
I like his hat.
All right, I need. So I need Morgana's and Nigel's.
I'm just digging my dice out.
Not a problem.
And then rolling a 3.
A 3? Your dice did not like you today.
No.
Stop worrying about August. He'll be fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll be okay.
One second for poor Brad.
Is Brad all right?
Brad has a 7.
Oh, Brad has a 7? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to miss you. Nigel has a 7. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Sorry about that. So, my thief goes first. Make sure I do this correct. Sort of. Today. Ha ha ha.
I don't get my battle shout off, even though it's a simple before all this kicks off. When I was,
I'll let you get that off in just a second. Just give me a second.
Thank you.
They're probably reacting to us as soon as we're bursting through the door. They did kind of know we were coming. So.
Oh yeah. No, they were very ready for all of you.
And simples do have to take place in your turn, so.
And you are next. All right, I think he would do that, wouldn't he? He's such a dick. All right. I'll double check and make sure I do that right. Skill description. No. Actually, I think I like this better. he's going to hold his action, which is going to go ahead and let you go first, Drew.
Okay. The first thing I will shout is, "Why did you attack us?" And that is a battle shout with a roll of 15 versus their social defense.
Okay.
I'm using that item the Fae gave me, so if there's any special effects that go with that.
So
And
what's your
my
roll
rank
on
is
your... Sorry.
the
You roll on your battle shout.
Was a
15?
Was a 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And
a success on that
it says
gives...
equal to battle shout rank to all action tests, which is rank 2, I think. Let
Okay.
me look. Yeah, it's rank 2, so they're at a -2 to everything.
For how many rounds?
Social. 2 rounds, I believe. End of the following round.
So basically, this round, next round. All right. So you battle shout
and then
that
as a simple action,
Mhm.
and then I would basically run right at the guy who's holding his head, which I think was the orc with the bowler in the picture, and I have the flat of my blade to slap him. Why did you attack us? My intent is to send him a message and then tell the others in his group that their compatriot is going to be throat sliced if we can't de-escalate this. So I want to bring it down a notch, but be very clear they have a pissed off troll ready to do something if they decide to pull guns and start shooting and all that crap. So it's I don't know if it's threat, intimidation, like, I don't know, or if it's just melee weapons you want, because that's what I'm using. What do you want?
So are you actually using the weapon to hit him, or are you trying to just be intimidating?
I don't know how split actions or held actions or whatever. I would say I want to be very clear. I don't mind punching him or hitting him or kicking him or whatever. Why did you attack us? But I'm gonna be very clear. Like if I had my ideal outcome, it would be to pick him up, grab by the throat, and say, "Why did you attack us?" with his battle shout. And
So that would be an unarmed combat to try to grab him.
Yeah, I rolled an unarmed combat,
Okay.
and I'm holding him by the throat if I succeeded.
What's your unarmed combat? Let's see if you actually get a hold of him.
19.
19. Okay. So that's going to give you his physical defense. Not that great. That's going to give you 2 successes.
Yeah, so can I hold him by the throat and see if nobody move or I'm crushing his throat kind of comment or something?
Well, you've already made a couple of comments and it's 6 seconds. So I think you have, why did you battle shouted, then you grab him, you've grabbed him by the throat. Are you trying to do damage with this or just holding him at this point?
At this point, I've got him by the throat ready to crush it.
So you're not squeezing it, you just have your hands on him. Okay.
Okay, can I squeeze a little?
It's up to you. It's your character. That's why are you doing damage or not? Like that's if you're doing damage, then I need to know what the damage is.
No, I'm not going to do damage until he does something stupid.
All right. River, you also go on 11. So I'm going to let you go.
River will point the shotgun where she can cover the most people without having Mac in the crosshairs. And state, we just want to talk.
Okay. At that point, the thief draws a knife. The gunslinger points the gun directly at Mac's head. Waymont, And the thief is basically like, you fucking started this shit, dude. And Waymont, we're at you.
All right. So the situation just now is that Mac is essentially in control, except for the gunslinger who has a gun pointed at his head.
And the thief, who looks like could stab him in the back or attack somebody who's just coming through. But basically, he answers with a, you fucking started this shit. And you would have probably, because you were just running in, you would have seen that the gunslinger just raised the gun when Mac grabbed the snark by the throat. He had the gun, but he didn't raise it until Mac put his hands on someone.
I will walk in and hold up my hands. Maybe there's been some kind of misunderstanding.
I will say...
Perhaps we should all...
Go ahead.
Perhaps we should all lower our weapons and talk for a moment.
All right. The sword woman. The sword is now up. She has to. Yeah, unfortunately, it totally is definitely at this point probably a fight. Ooh, piece of candy for me. Nice. Oh my goodness, the six-sider likes me tonight. Oh, shit.
Well, is talking a free action?
Yes, and I will let you do something else if you want.
Okay.
1 second.
In that case, I guess the best thing for me to do would be to try a bind.
All right.
So at least we can talk without this being a total fight.
Who are you trying to bind?
Who am I binding?
Yes.
Everybody.
You're going to try to bind everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
I am casting the spell on a group. The group. That group.
All of them.
All of them. Those guys.
But I want you to fail on this so bad because I'm about to chop off Drew's arm. I'm just saying.
Nope. Not my guys. Those guys.
I have a 31 to chop off Drew's arm. I just want you to know, I do not want you to bind my characters right now. Because that six-sider rolled so well.
I'm sorry.
What? All right, that's...
It's happening, I'm sorry. So, target
I'm so close to cutting off someone's arm. All right, so the highest mystical defense plus 1 for the other 4 is a 17.
Clear message. I'm taking
plus 1 for each additional person.
Yeah, no, that's with that extra 4. So that's your
right.
Your
okay, so
it's
a 17. Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to throw karma on this because I will not make it otherwise. My dice don't like me that much. Right. Okay. So here we go.
Ooh.
Well, 20.
Really?
Really?
Why you hate me? Why do you hate me?
I don't hate you. I still have to cast an effect. I still have to do an effect test.
All right, fine. Fine. I had a 31 to cut off Drew's arm. I want you to know, I had rolled that as you were talking about this whole. That was just talking, so I still get an action. Damn it. Waymont.
The test to cut off Drew's arm because it's not that big a penalty.
Oh.
Well, I mean, in order to escape the bind, they have to meet the target number. The target number of which is my effect test. Now, the effect test is not necessarily going to be massive, so you'll be fine.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
And it'll be strength checks to get out of this because of the style of the spell, which is chains. So I will now do the effect test, which I believe is will plus rank.
Yes, that sounds correct.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Will plus 4, it says in the book.
Will plus 4. Well, that might as well be will plus rank. It's
Really? Because I thought it was will plus
in the future, you know. Not for this spell. It's different for each spell, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be will +4 for this spell, which is fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's exactly the same. I think it's 4 anyway. So
please hear me raspberrying you.
I don't want you to do that. I mean,
roll poorly. Botch. Botch.
I'm not going to botch because I have not botched. I have in fact rolled a 25.
You rolled a 25.
So I rolled a 25.
You rolled a 25.
I rolled a 25. I would also like to roll an impressive display because that's what this is.
That is.
Yeah. May I roll impressive?
And it's a strength check for everybody else, right?
Yes, that is correct. And with the target number of 25.
With the target,
I'm going to roll an impressive display because feels like this should be an impressive display, you know?
It does.
So for the impressive display, I rolled a 10.
It is very impressive. You have walked in and they are all bound. I will say
I will adjust
that the snark is giving you like the stink eye. I just want you to know that. Totally getting the stink eye.
I will adjust my tie.
And Drew gets to keep his arm.
Ladies, gentlemen, let's talk, shall we?
I would like to disarm them and tie them up.
Give me a second on that. Because Morgana should be walking in, seeing this, followed by Nigel, and they get to do stuff. And then I need to hop over really quickly to August, who is convincing and shooing out people from the ground and or first level, depending on your orientation. So, Morgana, you walk in, and Waymont's being a badass. And Mac is holding a snark by the throat. Anything you're doing? And yes, Brad is correct. They are actually tied up technically at the moment, just magically.
Of silver.
We have a duration though, correct? How long do we have?
Hold that thought.
See.
Morgana, what are you doing when you walk in?
I was just picking my words out, so if you give me a second.
Yes. Nope, that's fine.
She will glance around the room, look pleasantly surprised at the situation. You can all surrender now, or you can just make this more difficult for yourselves.
12 rounds
Drop
is the
all
answer.
your weapons.
I'm gonna give the thief guy, because they can still talk, right?
Oh yeah, they can
not
talk.
Not technically the correct term, but give me just.
It's basically limited movement and harried on all actions that require physical movement, I think. So, plus any other penalties the spell gives.
Yeah. So the thief guy basically starts talking, and what's your guys' social defense? I think it was 11.
Is it the maximum social defense of the party or individually?
It's the maximum for the party, which I believe was an 11.
11, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts talking. You guys started this. They were just sitting here. It's not. We don't even know what you're here about. Whatever it is, it's somebody else's thing. And very good. It's all actually makes a lot of sense that this is all just a confusion and you want somebody else. It's very reasonable.
17
it's very
to resist taunt that. Andy?
You want to try resist taunt?
To resist that with resist taunt. Yeah,
well,
just rolled it.
It's slough blame. Can you resist slough blame? I thought it was just against the target number.
Anything that targets social defense.
Ah, okay. Yes, because he barely made it, and so that just barely resists it. So
you took.
So yes, you are not as everybody else, other than probably August, who isn't quite there. Gotcha, Brad. So you are the only one who kind of wait a minute, but he talks a pretty good talk there. I will let you think about your response to that. Give me just a second. August, what are you using to shoot the people out before heading upstairs?
I'm just going to try and...
A stick. It's not a bad plan.
A verbal stick.
A verbal stick. What is your verbal stick? What are you telling them to get them to get out?
I suggest you leave because there's a troll upstairs.
One person just kind of looks at it and goes, he goes upstairs most of the days.
There's a bigger one.
It's a bigger troll.
Well, just tell them there's a ghost, like a spooky ghost upstairs.
Yes. Does August have anything that might help? First impression or
conversation? I have first impression, and that's it.
Try that. Let's see. Maybe that'll help you.
Okay.
Pass out Darwin Awards.
Pass out Darwin Awards. Yes, they would probably hear the battle shout from upstairs. Which also might help.
He is not having a good day.
He's not. How bad?
Fortunately, no, he's not having a good day. Fortunately, that was not the rule of 1, because one of the D8s rolled a 2. So, 4.
So, unfortunately, with the battle shot upstairs, they're a bit confused. But they don't really seem interested in moving. You gave them a warning. You can continue to try, or you can go upstairs. Or you can do something else.
I will just go.
You're just going to go upstairs?
No, I'll be like...
One of them will even point you at the staircase. One of them will even point you to the staircase.
Thanks.
I do need...
Guys standing there and going, this is my home. You can't, own property, man.
I do need that dex with a -1 step for you to get upstairs. And while you are doing that, I will pop back up to... Nigel would have just walked in about this time, too. And that guy makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's very plausible. I think the word's plausible. Although Morgana's having nothing with it. So
the other one.
I mean, I suppose it's possible we've got the wrong guy.
He meets the description.
Oh, yeah, he totally meets... And for you, Morgana, because you resisted. But everybody else, that's very... You guys are just confused. And you did start it.
It's possible that somebody else... He might just look like the guy. It could be someone else. And, we did come in here all guns blazing.
We tracked them here.
Well, yes, but it could be someone else in the building, right?
There's nobody else in the building. Stop listening. I'm going to go and the thief in the face with the hilt of my sword.
River, is that you?
$14, $18. $31 in a melee weapons. Calling basically an attack with my sword to call damage to stun.
31? Did you just cave his face in?
I hope so.
Mac nods in respect.
was an attack roll against his, I believe, harried physical defense.
It's a bad time by that guy.
Yeah. Andy, anything from how well do I smash him in the face?
Okay, sorry. I was accidentally muted and didn't realize it. All right. So I had a question. Drew, did you have a question? Because I see you posted the self-blame thing.
No, I was just trying to learn the nuances of the differences between the games. And it works a little differently. There's a social defense modifier, and there's a few other things that are interesting mechanically. I just I'm getting my head wrapped around 1879 versus Earth Dawn.
Okay. So your character...
Listen, I have the book open. I can look it up if you're really interested.
Your character, at this point, does believe Morgana does not. And then Morgana, you are going to hit with the flat of your sword the thief guy in the face?
Yeah, well...
All right.
Yeah.
What's your attack?
31.
How? Okay, is this more stun damage, or are you trying to, like, kill him?
Stun damage, which it just does the normal damage of the weapon would do. It just counts as stun damage, so it doesn't kill him.
Yeah, well, but you've got, like,
nice and
with
easy.
him being held, like, he doesn't have much of a defense, plus it's, yeah. I'm going to say you probably have 4 or 5 successes.
Okay 4 or 5, which...
We'll give you 5, because he's can't dodge.
5.
Kind of stuck right there. And you're hitting his face, which isn't really armored. Because it's a face.
I have the impression Mom just slapped the kid who was lying.
Except you believe him. 2060. Ow. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Are you being a bit hasty here?
And if I can make a sloth blame to be pointing out that it's in fact all his fault, and that they brought us here to reverse the effect, though that is a standard. So,
You could do that. You could, or just pop him in the face and break his nose and part of his eye socket, and his eyes kind of roll back in his head. If he becomes unconscious, does the binding chain still hold him upright? Or does he go to the floor?
I mean, it's physical. It's a physical manifestation of chains, so yes, it would still hold him there.
Okay, so yeah, he's still there, but his head rolls back.
By the way, the chains will last for about a minute and a bit. A minute and 12 seconds.
Okay.
So we should probably tie him up.
So...
Are the rest of you going to cause any trouble?
None of us have actually technically caused any trouble.
I mean, that is true. You were just sitting here and we barged in.
The gunslinger, yeah. The gunslinger's like, none of us have actually technically caused any trouble. So far, you came here, your mage attacked our mage, and then you just beat a man who's basically can't defend himself. You're not much of a lady.
Ouch.
I'm more than enough of a lady, and you are not and none of you are gentlemen. So there we go. The rules don't apply.
Yeah, he just kind of arches an eyebrow as if, do you even believe your own shit? Like, he doesn't say anything. He just arches an eyebrow.
Morgana entirely believes her own shit.
Probably. I'm just saying that's his opinion reaction.
Morgana will give her a best full, I have social rank 5 and I know the rules. Look.
Steve.
So
Mac
is hold on 1 second. Mac is tying them up. River is also tying up people.
River will keep Overwatch because.
Okay, so Mac is doing all the tying up.
I'd love to be clear. Stated intent was to disarm and tie up without hurting. I will then go over and use physician on the injured gentleman, being surprisingly gentle for a troll.
It's going to take you a couple rounds to tie up everybody.
I understand. I'm just giving you the...
Yeah, so after you're done tying up people, that's your next possible thing. I gotcha. So you take their weapons and you tie them up.
Walk as I'm doing over to the orc.
Hold on one second.
I mentioned to August. As I'm doing that, I would like to mention August.
I'm not there yet.
August isn't there yet.
Never mind.
August went through the floor and then tried to shoo the homeless people out, and then got, unfortunately, his foot stuck in one of the bad stair steps. So he'll be there in just a second. It's a bad day to be August. August has not done well with this building.
Awesome.
August is not having a good day in the month that he's named after. Who knew?
So the room you guys are in, somebody's actually taken the time to put some boards. You can tell that there are boards underneath some rugs. This seems to be their hidey hole. And they've fixed it up a little bit. So it's going to take you a few rounds to tie up everybody. I mean, at least 5, maybe 6 rounds to disarm and tie up everybody. Which is fine, because the binding will hold through all of that.
Yeah, so while the orc is bound, I'm going to casually walk over to the orc, kneel down, and take the pocket watch off.
He says something in Welsh that you're pretty sure was not polite.
Sorry, I don't speak Welsh.
He says something in English that sounds not polite. And adding in the effing thief part. So you understood that. But yes, it was not polite. He called you an effing thief.
Is this yours?
Yeah, that's mine.
I see. You won't mind if I examine it for a moment, then, will you?
He has such a stink eye for you. There's not a nice look at there at all. All right. River's still doing cover. What's Nigel doing while Morgana bashed in the guy's face and the gunslinger's like, we didn't actually do anything? And said that Morgana's definitely not a lady. And August is coming up the stairs as he gets his foot out. And I will ask our UK friends if anything said in Welsh spoken to an Englishman is polite. But I feel like Brad might be right, and most of it wouldn't be.
Fairly commonly impolite.
Depends on the Welsh and the English.
Still hanging back, letting Morgana handle the social stuff. Even though currently her social, she hit him with the sword, but yes, okay.
I mean that is pretty much the full stop on social defense.
And Waymont has taken the pocket watch. All right,
I'm examining it.
So do your astral and then probably magic theory again. You're just all about those today.
Will do.
And while that's happening, Morgana has finished her dressing down. And so, August, you will come in as Mac is finishing tying up people. The guy that you're pretty sure is the thief, because you know the description, seems to have had his face bashed in pretty good. And Waymont is playing with the pocket watch. While River is
15 on astral.
15. That thing has a shiny pattern. So how much? 12?
Yeah.
You would really like to learn more about this. It has its own shiny pattern. And just holding it, you feel a lot like your magical defense is already better. But you feel like there's more to learn about this pocket watch.
I'll hold on to this for the moment.
He says something else in Welsh that is not okay for polite society. Very targeted at you. He does not seem happy about you taking the pocket watch.
I can imagine not. But, you know, it's got to be studied.
August, so you walk into...
It belongs in a museum.
The finishing up of the disarming and tying up. And I will let Morgana go back to whatever Morgana is saying as you're walking in, August. Okay? Morgana?
This person. You're muted, Joel.
That's okay. I did that earlier. Because I have a button on my microphone.
This person, gesturing to the unconscious thief, stole an item of great value and sold it to an auction house. I presume you have no idea about any of this.
Actually, the gunslinger and the swordswoman and the troll all nod as if, yeah, okay. Man's got to make a living. The swordswoman does say, however, yeah, but he shouldn't have sold it to the auction house. That wasn't the deal. And the gunslinger's like, true. Wasn't super thrilled with that decision.
What was the deal? He's the thief, to be honest with you. He's the only one we're really interested in.
So the snark seems to mostly be muttering things in Welsh and saying bad things about Waymont, and kind of seems to want his pocket watch back. So he's kind of not paying attention. The thief guy is still not conscious at the moment. The other three kind of look at each other, and there's almost a unspoken look of, do we tell? Do we hold? And the troll finally goes, August, I see that. So the troll, empathic sense gauge, most of the feeling that you're getting is this kind of fight or flight response. And it's like being held in check. Because, I mean, when they're bound, they can't do anything about it. And they're still not sure whether or not they need to do something about it, if that makes sense. Yeah. The troll basically says, and he's sounds a little bit like Chris does. But he he says something, and I will not do the accent because I will fail miserably. So there.
I'll go on.
No.
Please?
No. You're gonna laugh at me. It's awful. But anyhow, so he sounds a lot like Chris.
Don't taunt the ref. Don't taunt the ref.
Taunting anybody. I just want to hear a rendition of a Scottish accent, that's all.
I already told you it was bad. But he's little gruff, little Scottish. But he basically says something along the lines of, we were supposed to give it back to the stupid gent. Not sell it.
Which gent?
Another kind of look goes through those three, and the swordswoman says, now that wouldn't be polite to tell.
The gent, you were supposed to return it after the full moon, weren't you?
Yep. Gunsinger kind of nods.
Now, I'm not going to
ask
you to answer any questions.
1 second, really quick. Drew, physician. Yeah, he's definitely got a broken nose. It looks like his orbital is broken around the one eye. Then move to put a bruise salve. Do you have a bruise salve? I on the orc's throat. That's fine. He's kind of wiggles like he's trying to get away from you while you do it. You feel like the guy who's unconscious is about to wake up. He seems to be coming to as you're checking him over. Morgana, on your empathic sense. So you got a very high roll.
I wanted to say to the two of them.
Sorry, what was that, Drew?
If I could. I did have something I wanted to say to the two of them as I'm treating them, which is, look, we get being tools and making a living. No harm, no foul. It's conflicts here. It's all good. We're not going to hurt you.
True. You did steal something from someone who. Yes.
So
you did steal something from someone who's in our employ. So all's fair. We'll see while twirling the pocket watch.
Okay. Hold. I hear you. I got you. Morgana, your empathic sense with it being so high, they are well, okay. The snark is mostly focused on Waymont, and he's very pissed off at Waymont. And there's really no feeling beyond, because that is a singularity for him right now. The other three seem to be highly annoyed at the situation and at, well, the thief. You get the general feeling that they would have abided by the terms of their employment, if that makes sense. The thief who's starting to come to is a little confused at the moment, so you're not getting much, even though you did roll so well. Does that make sense?
So, yeah.
Because he's just coming to, so he's not braining very well. River.
So.
That is a very, very, very nice 6. Oh goodness. 6-bullet revolver. It's think what you guys would as a heavy revolver in the game terms. Big bullets. Make big boom. Hurt hand. There you go.
Like a Colt 45 APC type gun.
Oh, that's a good point, August. I didn't know how long it took on physicians. I can double check. Because he may not have been able to, he may still be working with the one guy. Let me double check.
Yeah.
I was going to say, my physician seems to be able to get in and out in less than 15 minutes when I see a doctor. Silly doctors.
Yeah, but you're not getting their rank as a bonus to all healing tests, so.
That's true. So, diagnosis, prescribes treatment against the condition, target number. If successful, he knows what the problem is and how to treat it. And then your rank is added to the next recovery or resistance that the patient makes.
To be honest, I think that the problem is fairly evident.
Let's see. It is a sustained
I had a
action.
conversation down, but I was planning to use.
So it doesn't say.
Oh, it doesn't say in this. It's half an hour in Earthdawn, so.
It doesn't say. I will say this. Since he didn't set the nose or anything like that, he mostly just kind of wake up, you're all right. Yeah, I'm going to say he didn't set anything. He could go and put a salve on the other one. It'll help them when they start to try to recover, but it's not a lot. No. But it will take him time. He's not going to have time to do much else as he's dealing with those two.
Sure.
So, I do see and note that Mac, do you have any stealth for that type of thing, like pickpockety or just a dex to see if anybody notices that you put the bloody bandage in your pocket?
No, I'm just making it. I'm just cleaning up. It's like normal physician-y stuff, but if he notices, he notices. He can suspect there's a motive or not. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm just, cleaning up his face, bandaging things up, and then putting the bandages.
Duly noted. Our questioning before we start flirting and small talk. Well, that's you control the other players. I don't control them.
I was just wanting to see it. Morgana was.
So, sorry, 1 second. So, River, you're asking and trying to have a chat with him about it. He actually smiles at you, and it's how to put this? I don't know that our UK friends will understand this. You ever see a good Southern Texan when he kind of relaxes and gives that look and that little lift of a smile?
I mean, on TV, yeah.
Knowing a few Texans, yes.
River, you River, you get what I'm going for here?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember.
And he makes a kind of a double entendre, but it's not so blatant that it would be impolite about handling it nicely. And with that, I think I've answered everybody and taken notes. You get the gist. I see this and you get the gist. Morgana can finish what she was doing.
Sexy.
I'm trying here.
I'm not going to ask you to answer any questions or name any names. But if I list a name in this list that you recognise as someone connected to the commission of this job, I'd like you to nod. I'm going to name the suspected rival.
And the troll nods. The other two don't. Apparently, they don't necessarily agree with his decision, but the troll does nod.
Thank you very much. I feel our business here is done.
And Mac whispered August.
So, should I go call the Bobbies then?
No.
Or we just walk into our employer.
Okay, what are you whispering to August?
Do you want to check for any evidence in the room?
We have what we need. I think we should just hand them over.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea here was for us to have these guys arrested. Now that we found them, they are thieves after all.
Out of character?
Technically, do it again.
Technically, I don't know that technically you're supposed to hand them over or not. I don't know that that mattered as much as getting it back and finding out the who. So it's really your decision.
Our employment was to get the...
Mac will chime in that I would rather that we leave them as we know each other now. We're going to do them a little favor and just say we're not going to blame the tools for the hand that wielded it, and we move on. And if we run into each other, then we'll be upset.
Sorry, I'm bouncing here, but I have a moment. The job is to keep this quiet because our employer does not want things getting out. So if we can get an agreement of silence from this lot, which I think they would probably agree to because they don't want it out there that they're being bested, I think leave it at that.
I don't know how well this is going to go, I will say, looking at the orc.
Well, give him back his due, Hickey, and be polite. Or ask him if you can borrow it properly for a while. I'm pretty sure what he's saying is polite.
Well, I would like to borrow it so I can...
attached to that thing.
I would like to borrow it so I can study it, but I'd be more than amenable to give it back once I'm done. I will raise my glasses.
Something, and again, it's not polite, and I'm not repeating it in English. But then he says something along the lines of, "How long do you need to study it?"
Oh, give me a week.
If you don't bring it back, I'll hunt you down. And then he says something else again that's not very nice.
You know, you don't have to hunt me down. You could just drop by the office and I'll give it to you.
There is a kind of look at office as if... And the swordswoman basically says something along like, which office? He's rather attached to the watch.
Why? What does it do?
She just shrugs. I have no idea what it does. I think it's his dad's.
Oh, I see. Well, yes, I will study it for a little bit.
But where's this office?
Give them a card and hand the gunslinger my rifle. We'll trade in the week.
Which rifle do you give him?
Second best, probably.
I only have the one rifle.
Okay. He just kind of raises an eyebrow and basically says something along the lines of, if you wanted to have dinner, lady, you just simply had to ask. Or probably since he's... If you wanted to have dinner, ma'am, it would probably be ma'am. You just simply had to ask.
Very well. So drop by the office on that card in a week, and I'll hand you this back. I just need to study it for a moment, that's all.
And we'll give up an item that's important to one of us as well. If I don't get my rifle back because Waymont doesn't return what's borrowed, I will deal with him.
Waymont will give you the look.
You get the look now. Reminds you of the stink eye that the snark gave Waymont.
Morgana will just shrug and say, well, if you didn't like to told more anyway, but dealing with that river.
What is the 1879 etiquette for ma'am versus miss? Is he fishing to find out if River is single?
It's not that look.
I believe he was being Texan.
It's
a Texan dialect thing.
So he may have used
I
miss.
would have thought.
He may have used miss. I'll give that. I could be incorrect, and he would have used miss. How about this? So he's assuming she's single, and he's definitely flirting.
Check.
He sees a kindred soul. All right, so it sounds like with the watch, with a gun swap, rifle for a handgun, you guys are leaving with them bound. The spell will drop, but they're still tied up.
Yep.
After everybody else leaves, with Mac the last one in, I will untie the gunslinger as I walk out.
You'll do what to the gunslinger?
After everybody leaves,
right?
They're all still tied up.
Yes.
I will then give a nod and a raised eyebrow and a guy-to-guy grin as I untie the gunslinger, so he can untie his compatriots, and I leave.
He actually, like, the technical term would be doffing his hat. He doesn't tip it. He actually takes it off and gives you kind of a slight nod bow after you untie him. And it's definitely that guy smile back. Like, yeah, you know.
Guy code conversation in a word.
Yep. All right. We're going to note that she needs to learn River. River needs that book.
I think that's
true.
The correct title.
And in August, you do a really good job of not acting like you're limping because you put your foot through a stupid stair.
Yep.
Oh, I have one other question. I would like to. I'll say, what's your name? I'll let her know.
That is a good question. 1 second, I will look up where I wrote that down.
Steve.
God damn it, Steve.
No, it's not Steve.
Oh.
Noah.
I'll let her know, Noah.
Much obliged. Okay. You guys will be Brad probably needs to do another civil engineering to make sure you guys get out without going. Although I will say, August will totally point out that one stair with a hole. Don't step there. That's a bad spot.
Yeah, mind that step.
Mind that step.
Thank you. Rolled one there to spot that August is acting. So, you know, obviously he noticed it and it was missing before he stepped on it.
Yes, civil engineering, and then I would recommend, but not going to tell you guys what to do, that you kind of let Nigel go first since he's probably better at picking out 16. Very nice. So he's very good at getting you guys out the building without any other mishaps.
Once we're out of the building, Matt will turn to Morgana and say, so we chastised the thief. We got the name. Now we're just going to report in. He didn't pay for wet work. So we're just going to let him know the thief has been chastised. Everything is
We
back.
give him the information he asked us to find. We've returned the ring to him. And he wanted to know who did it. Yes. And it needed to be kept quiet. Ergo, here we are.
All right. Got it. Check.
I'm going to try to put his name in. Stupid thing. All right. I'll figure out how to put his name in later. All right. So you guys go back to the... What are you guys doing? Where are we headed?
Heading to...
Indirect route that breaks the trail so that they're not able to trace us back to his lordship from anybody who's watching, even though the thieves know about it, the others don't, so we make sure the trail is broken. Unless someone has an objection.
Sounds good to me.
Might be easier to put the names after all the pictures, Andy.
Well, yeah. I was moving the pictures, and then I could put some lines, so I could put some things above them.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey! No, absolutely not. All right. And then there'll be hopefully a few lines, and you guys can write things in between, however that wants to look for you guys.
Sure.
Well, that's the plan anyhow. All right. Okay, so sorry. You guys were saying what you were up to.
Yes, we are taking a careful route back to Langsley to make sure nobody follows us, though the thieves stole the things. They already know where his house is and who he is. So we don't need to worry about them. But, you know, making sure nobody else is following us. Yeah, representatives from the auction house and all of that.
Yeah, the auction house lady is the one, her tail is the one I'm worried about.
Yeah. I think they're probably not a huge threat.
We threw those off by going to the office for a few hours.
Yeah.
And very interested in money and leverage on nobles.
Yeah, but we haven't noticed anyone else following us, and we have been keeping our eyes open.
Yes. And you guys can all do awareness to see if you spot anybody as you go to the Lord's house.
12. No, nobody's following us. A mighty 4 from Morgana.
Awareness.
Thank God.
Well, there's this person with a cart that's selling flowers, and you're pretty sure they're following you. Trying to get someone to buy you flowers.
Nice flowers?
Yeah, they're pretty nice flowers.
20. Before.
Oof. 35, River. 25. I see a 10. All right. If someone was following you, August and River totally would have noticed. River, you don't see anybody necessarily following you. You do see that the one tail is still in that area looking for you. They must have lost you at some point. And you spot them the tail looking for you from the lady at the auction house. But they are not actively following you because they lost you a while ago. All right. You guys get to the Lord's house?
Yep.
He's in a much calmer mood. It's actually kind of, you can tell he's calmer. Has the ring on.
Yep.
Graciously, let you in. You guys are all served, tea, biscuits, anything you want. He seems, like I said, he seems calmer and better, having gotten the ring back. You have more to report.
Yeah. Yes, the leads we got from the auction house led us to the lair of a team of thieves who took the ring. It's not entirely clear exactly how each of them were involved in it, other than the one who actually took into this house and took it from you. They were under instructions to bring it back to you and return it to you after the full moon. Apparently, the member of their association who sold it to the auction house was breaking terms of contract.
So he's again very British, and he's under a lot calmer to begin with, but you can just see this look of, I'm gonna beat somebody's tush.
They
a prank. I see.
Yes, they recognized and admitted that, I will insert name of rival, had been, if not the person who hired them directly, they were fairly certain he was the source of the job.
I see. And it's said very quietly and very softly, but there's a whole lot of not happy in that short little sentence. Not directed at you,
wolf.
Of course. Sorry, Drew?
Yes.
We see the wolf.
Yeah.
Or at least Mac does.
Boiling under a surface, yes.
I cannot tell beyond that, because we don't have that information, what the true intentions were. It may have been aiming to embarrass you. I don't know if Lord X is even believes that the curse is true. I know it is in your experience, and I'm glad we have returned the ring to you, because it's not something we have confirmed. But, well, I think, you have what we have found out.
He's a pretty stoic guy.
Mac will...
Go ahead, Mac.
Mac will clear his throat and say, just as a suggestion, you might consider increasing the security in the den against future incursions. It seems that the security was not up to standard here.
I'm sure our agency would be happy to consult on that.
Actually, do you have suggestions on upping the security? And then if Morgana says that your office would help with that, he nods.
Yeah.
That can be a downtime.
Yes, I'm sure my companions would be happy to begin that process.
I will have things sent to your office as appreciation. I'm
just glad to help.
I appreciate how very conscientious you've been about the delicacy of the matter.
Our families have been friends for generations. I would hate to see that jeopardized.
And he nods. You'll be rewarded appropriately, I promise. And with that, I'm sure you guys all kind of head out. Like I said, we can make the looking over the building a few downtime roles as far as helping with security suggestions. I mean, in all truth, the security is beyond lax there. But they never really considered that someone would break in and steal things. So he does send over, let's see, what did we say? It's what, £8 a year for a modest lifestyle? That sounds correct?
Something like that.
Something like that. So basically, there's £100 for each of you, waiting probably within the next day or two. So he gets out the money and then sends it to the office. All very nondescript. Oh, no. He's very appreciative of the quietness of all of this.
I didn't think I'd ever be able to take the tribute training. That's amazing.
Yeah. This was a big deal in the fact that it wasn't out of character knowledge. If you guys had gotten into a big blow-up fight that drew a bunch of attention, it might not have gone the same. But because everything was very quietly done, even at the auction house, he can't fault your behavior in the least. So he is super pleased. Anybody with nobility, knowledge, stuff, if they want to, or law, can look into what happened, if anything happened between the two rivaling for the position.
Andi.
Yes.
Keep our eye on it.
Okay, sorry.
I would
River.
like to know
wait.
coming up on the council.
Hold on. Wait. Because River, then Morgana, Drew, and August. River, what were you saying?
After we leave the Lord's house, River goes and catches a tail and leads him to the rifle's house.
Got it. You basically refine them and then wiggle your hips a little to get them to pay attention. Not exactly, but and get them to tail you that way. Gotcha. And then ditch them?
Yep.
Okay. Morgana?
She's certainly going to keep her eye out and her ear to any gossip and going-ons regarding the rivalry and its influence within the House of Lords.
Got it. I know you have something for that.
Secrecy, Aristocracy.
Yep.
21.
So, yeah. He's the Lord Livingston, right? He's freezing out the other house. Like hardcore.
Langsley.
There you go, Langsley. Sorry. Lord Langsley is literally like, it's quiet. It's soft but severe. He's been cut out of that. he's yeah. Like Langsley's going after the
He's using his
family.
influence to send the other house to Coventry.
Yep. Like, again, it's very quietly done. It's all kind of very nods, winks, handshakes behind doors, but he's seriously going after the other household. Drew, what were you saying? And then August.
My apologies. I wanted to. I was curious what vote had come up in the House of Lords that he was trying to manipulate.
It was to get on a committee, and it's a finance committee that involves with trade. So it's very important if you deal with import exports, which a lot of the wealthier families totally do.
Okay, so it was a money and power game from the one lord against the other.
Yeah, apparently the thing is, and it may be that this was a more friendly rivalry because the two sons have a friendly rivalry going on. However, for Langsley, this has crossed a line that shouldn't have been crossed. And he doesn't care that it might not have been a more friendly situation. He's going after their family now. So not getting that seat, bunches of other problems. He's pretty hardcore going after them. August, you were saying?
I wasn't actually saying anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your thing lit up. Want to make sure I caught everybody.
For acting, mostly to try and convince Morgana I'm not actually limping.
What was a good roll,
okay. He
Morgana?
notices he's limping this time. 8 on a perception test is what he's limping.
Well, that beats the 6.
She will
Yeah,
be
it does. That's fine.
friendly concerned and make sure that he sees someone about that ankle.
Aww. When are you two just getting married? I'm just saying. That little lady's still waiting.
They already?
For children, actually. River.
Another having murdered.
Sorry, River, you were saying?
Aren't they already?
Well, yes, she's waiting for children. You are correct. Lady? The little old lady thinks they're married. She's just waiting for children. You are correct.
Yeah, but that was under false names.
Well, she doesn't know that.
Yeah, it was.
She doesn't know that, though. So, what are you guys up to? I'm going to make a guess, and Waymont can correct me, that Waymont would like to hide up with some pocket watch time.
Yeah, basically. I want to study it.
Okay. So, do you have research?
As it happens, I'm looking through my list of skills, and I really thought I did have... Yes, I do have research, actually.
I was going to say, if you don't, I do, and I can give you a hand with it.
Well, yeah, that would
I've
work
got
too.
I've got it.
Well, no, I mean, why not let him help you out? You might get bonuses to it.
Yeah, we can both.
Yeah.
We can both do it. We can both research
Brad?
the heck out of this.
Okay.
Why don't you give me a research roll, and depending on how you do, we'll add some raises for Waymont.
I got a 10.
10? Not a huge amount of help, but we'll give you a raise. So take an extra step.
Sure, that removes my D8 and gives me a D10 instead.
Yeah, that's what Andy's plan was.
Ta-da!
Let's see how it goes.
Watch him get 3 10s in a row.
15.
15. Okay. So you believe you found the maker of the watch. It's somewhere in Switzerland. Some guy with a very Switzerland name. Go ahead and re-look at it. No, you don't have to re-look at it, Natural. Go ahead and give me another magic theory.
As you wish.
While he's rolling that, just a simple one. Checking our mirror to see if the dormice gave us anything back yet.
Let me double check on that.
So
get that in where appropriate. So
I got a 17 on magic theory.
Very nice. I will come right back to you. Brad, call high or low.
High.
They send back the little kid's picture with what looks like a smiley face on the picture now. I'll come back to you. You can think that over. Waymont. So, you feel like there's more you could learn about this item. That would take some more research and more time. But your leaning is that this will, out of character mechanic-wise, it raises your mystical defense by 2. And it actually raises your spell casting ability, whatever that spell casting is. And you're not sure that there isn't more to learn about this item.
Well, I've got a week to research it, so whatever. It's just a shame I'll have to give it back, but I can put my notes down and hey, maybe I can find a way to recreate it at some point.
And that was going to be something I was going to suggest. I don't know that you have oh my goodness. It's the like photographic memory, but that's not what it's called. Eidetic memory.
I do have eidetic memory, actually.
So you might consider, as you're researching over the next week, using something like eidetic memory and keeping that with your notes and seeing if it's something that you could possibly create.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that.
So
also, did you say that?
Go ahead.
Did you say that?
I'm sorry. What was that part?
Did you say that there was a letter for me or something last week? Last 2 weeks.
Oh, from the auction lady.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Do you want to open that?
I mean, no, I'll just let it sit there. I mean, who cares, right? No, of course I'm going to open it.
She.
I don't know. He's kind of focused on the amulet.
Briefly, and well, that's what I said. I mean, maybe he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Very politely invites you to meet her for lunch in about, at this point, 3 days.
Okay. Sure, why not?
Do you send a message back? Yes.
Yeah, I'll say, assuming we're not out of town, which is entirely possible given our vocation, I'd be happy to.
Okay. You think about what you want to do as far as research in the watch. You can have a research roll every day, and you can do magical theory. On top of that, if your research is high enough, it can give you bonuses. You can absolutely work with Nigel if you want. Just let me know, because then he'll roll his first and see if it gives you any extra bonuses to yours. Okay?
Makes sense. And sure, that's what I'll do.
Okay. Let's see. While they're up to that, before you have to turn back over the watch and the gun exchange. Anybody? Waymont also needs the book. Yes, you should just get extra copies of the book. What is August and Morgana doing? And then we'll go see what everybody else is up to.
Mostly resting up.
I will prepare a wrap for.
Hold on, Drew. Drew, I'll get you. I promise. Let me finish with August and Morgana, and then I will get to you. You're next. I promise. Sorry, Morgana. What were you up to? August is resting his ankle.
Mostly resting, relaxing, being general.
Well, your mother wants you to go to a ball. How are you ever going to meet a nice man if you don't go to where the nice men are?
Morgana's happy to go to the odd ball.
That makes your mother happy, and it does back her off of you for a little bit. However, you'll notice that your dance card is somehow already pre-planned for you. You're so thrilled.
Yeah. Well, Morgana brings her own dance card and will fill it herself. Thank you very much.
That makes your mother mad.
That might be a double entendre of some level. Who knows?
When your mother figures out you're not dancing with who she planned for you to dance with, she lets her ire at you be known. Okay?
Yeah.
Mac and then
Morgana's
River.
somewhat stressful letter writing is just one of those life choices she's made.
Mac, what is Mac up to for the week?
I just wanted to say I made a poultice for August for the twisted ankle swelling.
Okay. Make the roll for me.
But I would be. Oh, sure. I would mechanical bonus, just a role play thing, but sure.
What? See if it's really good or not. If you botch, poor August is going to get a rash. I don't know. Something.
Well, hopefully, he does not get a rash on an 8.
No, actually, August, Mac offers this salve and poultice, and it actually does help you feel a lot better a lot quicker. Something that probably would have been a nasty sprain for a couple 3 days, you're feeling a lot better by the next day.
Oh,
so it was.
He will accept the poultice from Mac and say thank you, and he will go home and put his foot up and use the poultice.
I'm glad. As far as during the week, the only thing that Mac wanted to make sure was ticked at some point, I would be sending a letter to my cousin with some updates.
You are sending a letter to your cousin?
Yeah.
All right. An actual cousin or like your military handler's quote cousin?
The latter.
Gotcha. Okay. Nigel, I'm guessing you're helping Waymont, or are you doing something else?
I'll give Waymont a hand. I don't really have anything else pressing.
All right.
I will present the what we got back from the Dormice to the group.
So the group, the picture of that the child drew of his family, dad, mom, which dad is the missing guy, that was sent through the mirror, has apparently been returned with a smiley face on it.
Cool.
Also, I think we're about to hit overtime here, so we'll probably want to let Debbie get on with her event.
I think Debbie's at 2. I think I have you guys set for the 4. I will double check. Debbie, you can also correct my silly self.
I had 2.
Yep, 2. There you go. Yep.
Oh, I said we had the first 3 lines were in bold, but then it got adjusted. Okay, that I was misreading because I just saw the bold and then it changed.
Okay. Well, but I didn't mess up. Haha. All right. Give me your. We'll do 4 more, which is a 5-day week. But okay, give me your next research roll, Brad.
All right. Uh, 30.
Wow. Okay. So
it's those D8s you don't like again.
That gives you a plus 5 to your research roll, Waymont.
5? All right.
It was a darn good roll.
Yeah.
I got a 30, so yeah.
God damn. Right. Yeah. So that puts me up at like 16. So I'll roll that just now.
Okay.
8, 5, 13 plus 8 is 21. 24.
Okay. So add a +3 to your magic theory.
3 to the magic theory. That would put that up to 15. So that is D12 and 2d6. Okay. Okay. So that's 12, 11, 23, 27.
All right, give me a eidetic memory.
Just play it all in. 2d6. This is core. May I throw karma on it?
If it's core, yeah, I believe
If
so.
it's core, yes.
Yep.
Right, that is 6, 10, 16.
Okay. Nigel, make another research roll, but you guys are probably not going to need 5 days. You guys keep rolling so good.
That one I only got an 8.
Okay. So no real major help, but I'll give you a +1 simply because he's there. So it's some help. You give me yours, Waymont?
Okay, so that would put that up to 12, which is 2d10. Right.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, from me.
Sorry about that. Give me just a second. I kind of accidentally knocked the microphone off. Oh, sorry. Okay, so sorry. Waymont, what was that? I guess it was 12. So, give me a +1 on your other magic theory.
On the magic theory, yeah, that's on that, which is d12 and d10. 8.
Okay. So, you're going to have to probably go through one more round on that, but we need to pause slightly because you have a lunch to go to.
Mm-hmm.
She basically has picked it's not quite a hole in the wall, but it is. How about it's middle of the road but very quiet restaurant that seems to have lots of little hidey nooks in it. It's a quiet place for your lunch. And
okay, is she there when I get there?
Yep. And she's dressed very nicely.
One is dressed in a suit.
Waymont always
top
dresses
hat.
nicely.
I was gonna say Waymont usually dresses well.
I mean, you're not a proper mage if you don't dress well.
Very important.
So he will tip his hat to her, as he approaches and say, "Madame." Then he will remove his hat and sit down. place the hat on the table.
And she makes... Oh, go ahead.
I take it this is not a social visit, is it?
Can't it be both? And she smiles. And it's not first impression. It's
winning smile.
Yes.
Winning smile.
Winning smile. And yours is an 11, if I remember correctly.
Social defense, or
yeah, social defense.
My social defense. My social defense is a 10.
A 10. Yeah, she beats yours, but she doesn't get any raises.
Right.
It's a very nice smile.
I suppose. Payment says, raising an eyebrow.
And she starts to make...
Go
ahead.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
One, you're a gentleman who has similar interests. That's not always easy to run into. 2, your business partners, and you have a very nice reputation, especially for handling things that don't need a lot of fanfare.
I suppose that's true. We haven't been in the business that long, but we've done well ourselves so far.
So 1, I'd like to get to know someone who has similar interests. And 2, I have a business possibility if you're interested.
A proposition. Well, I'd have
and
to know what
she smiles at that in a
first.
way that makes you think that she's taking the word proposition as a double entendre.
So, fair. What job did you have in mind?
I need something delivered.
Oh, is that all?
Quietly.
There are several postal services I can recommend.
It wouldn't fit in the mail. And I need it done very quietly.
All right.
It involves doing a little bit of traveling.
Within the country or overseas?
Interestingly, not either, if I understand things correctly.
Oh. That is an interesting comment. So, where did you have in mind then?
Well, if it's not here and it's not overseas, there's really only one possibility. And if you can't think of it as Chris, you can do a perception test for Waymont to see if Waymont would think of it.
I mean, are you talking about like in the astral? Is that?
No.
Oh, are you talking about to the grove?
Yes.
You want us to deliver something through the rabbit hole?
Well, I want you to pick up the thing from the grove and bring it back and deliver it to a client.
See. Is it in for Alice?
Slightly outside.
An interesting proposition. When you say slightly, how far outside exactly, do you know?
The agreement for delivery to our carrier is within 3 hours ride of Fort Alice.
Okay, that's not too far, I suppose. And you say it's a large object.
And she'll kind of hand gesture out what seems to be probably a 3 or 4 foot by 3 or 4 foot by about 6 foot long, 5 foot long box. And it
Heavy?
weighs about, if I'm getting the English terms correctly, a stone is about 20 pounds.
Stone's 12 pounds.
14 pounds.
14.
Yeah, it's 14 pounds.
So about 3 stones. Maybe 4.
Well, that's not too heavy. A bit of real size, but all right. Obviously, I'd have to check with my compatriots.
Of course.
I don't know how happy they'd be to go into the grove, but I'd be amenable to it. I've never visited.
It's always good to travel. Have you done much traveling?
To the Americas.
Really?
But
What
not.
part?
Yes, but it was New York.
I've heard some very unique stories coming out of New York.
Yes. Very strange goings on over there, I have to say.
She'll actually continue to make polite small talk and very flirtatious, and is actually very interested in anything magically, astrally, or travel wise.
Well, Waymont will definitely oblige on all those fronts, since he is very interested in magical.
So she actually seems fairly well versed in magical theory. I'm trying to think if you actually looked at her astrally. Did you look at her astrally?
I looked at things astrally while she was in the room, but I didn't focus on her particularly.
I'm going to give you that between the sort of being in the room and the how she's talking, she's some sort of mage.
Well, yeah, I figured that.
You figured that one. Yeah, you're definitely sure of it.
Yeah, because.
Do you tell her about the watch?
Yeah, I will talk to her about it, since that's part of my research at the moment.
Okay. Let's see what she can figure out. That six-sider likes me today. Ooh.
Adjust my glasses, check my mental notes with eidetic memory.
So she starts talking about how she thinks one should build it. And she's making comments that you're a little not totally sure of, but she seems to think that you should like tie yourself to the object or tie the object to you.
Interesting.
Kind of like the threads of the ward going to people, but to you. She's not totally sure how to do it. But she seems to have done some research that if you can do it, it makes things more powerful.
It seems to be one of these objects again that has its own pattern.
Yes.
You know, like that ring.
Very much so. Which is why I'm sorry to lose it. It was of interest.
Well, certainly. It's a fascinating angle of interest. We haven't really seen very many of these objects, but they seem to be popping up more and more.
I think that's the third. And if I may examine your pocket watch, it would be the fourth.
What were the first two?
That I've seen?
Mm.
One was a ribbon. And the other was a set of earrings.
So far, these have all been wearable items, which is interesting.
the ones I've seen. I've heard rumors of less wearable, more like weaponry. But I've never seen
That
one
would be
in
interesting.
person.
Well, I'll tell you what. As you're a fellow researcher of the occult, if I come across any of these items, I'll discuss them with you.
Perhaps next week at dinner.
Well, all right. It depends on whether or not we're in the country again, of course. But I'd be happy to.
And the rest of it is, like I said, flirtatious small talk. She's definitely interested in anything occult, and like I said, travels. She's very interested in traveling. Apparently, she has not done much traveling. But it's flirty. She's flirty. All right, I'm going to give you and Brad one more, probably only need one more day at that, and then we'll be at the week for exchanging things really quick. So, Brad,
Right.
give me your research roll.
Do your best, Brad.
Do your best, Brad. You
Got
guys are
an
so
18.
close. An 18. So that's 2 raises for you on yours, Chris.
On my research roll.
Yep.
Okay, so that would bring my research.
Actually, no, because you found out stuff from her.
15.
Make it a 4.
Okay.
Because you and her talked
15.
about things.
So that's 15, which is D12 and 2D6. Okay, D12, couple of D6s, and roll it. And I got a 17.
Nice. Put 2 extra steps on your magic theory.
Just give me a sec. Just going to put the tallies on my skills because I've been doing this a lot. I'm going to ask you, of course, if I can raise my research after this.
You can totally raise your research after this.
Right. Okay.
But
So,
not raise funding for research, because that's hard.
So that would be 13 on research, which is D12 and D10. Sweet. Sweet. Okay. 26.
Yeah, you don't need an extra day. You've got all the successes you need. It's going to take you a few weeks. It's going to not be cheap per se. And there you have some ideas from some of the things she said about the more you tie this pocket watch to you, the stronger its abilities might be.
Earthstone me has heard about this, but I'm not going to metagame.
but I would think your character is probably super excited at what I can do. And from that point, it'll be some out of character or not. Well, we'll do some side stuff in between and get you to roll a few things to see how long it takes you to build and how good your start is.
The ramifications of this are incredible. Think about the applications.
Well, and I'm hoping your character discusses some of the stuff with Brad. Nigel, sorry.
Of course.
That's actually a big help, here. Morgana, because a lot of that stuff is very expensive. Trading back. Okay. Take her. Got her.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not really that delved into the magical research aspect of things. You know.
Hey, boys, come back here.
I just kind of got stuck with magic. It's still a silly way of doing things. I'm much more about the practical aspects and how it can actually be used and the fundamental forces and that sort of thing.
Well, trust me, once we research the heck out of this, there will be some practical aspects to be had. Think about it. Genuine magical items, the sky's the limit.
Nigel, I would like a magical theory. roll from you at a +5.
All right, hang on. I gotta find the dice.
You're fine. Yes, in August, why are you guys not thinking of the children?
Morgana's mother does it for her.
Jesus.
Not here.
37.
Oh, son of a. So,
the D12 rolled up twice.
Wow. Okay, so applying this idea of tying yourself to the pattern thing with the parrot and making things stronger, you have some really unique ideas going on in your head. Which out of character goes into the making it a familiar. But yeah, you rolled really high. So you have some really interesting ideas on what to do with that.
Are the two mages talking about this in front of the rest of the party?
That's a good question.
Excitedly so. If the rest of the party are present, you will no doubt hear how excited we're being about this.
So,
or at least how excited I'm being about this.
What about?
You may or may not want to hear about it, but you will. Sorry, go ahead, Mac.
Oh, what about River's gun and the Fey ring?
River does not have that gun. That is, I thought, Waymont's.
No, Nigel has it.
Nigel has the gun, and the Fey ring is what Drew has. Mac has. So that's an interesting question.
Implying
do you guys want to do magical theory to see if any of this pertains to said gun and said ring?
Yes. Let's get our research her hats on.
All right, you guys want to start with research and then go to magical theory, or just jump right into magical theory?
Let's start with magical theory.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys a +2 for both of you on your magical theory, as this is all things that sort of tie into each other in your little group think tank going on.
Magic science the heck out of this.
I feel bad for Nigel, who thinks all of this is silly, but is now thinking, oh my gosh. But is it silly?
Yeah, no, I've been waiting to actually have a minute to speak.
Yes, go ahead.
Waymont is all super excited and all amped up and ready to go for all of this. Nigel is like, oh, god damn it, this shit would work.
Yeah, it's like math equations for Nigel. It's like, yes, you could totally. And if we use, I in the equation, and everyone's like, what's an I? And yeah, but yes.
So that's
right.
60.
Yeah, you're all excited looking. You're all excited looking at the math. I'm going, damn it works.
All right. So what are those rolls?
I always think the galvanics were just going, it's science we don't fully understand yet.
Just shaking Nigel by the shoulder. Look at it! Look!
Isn't it beautiful?
I got a 10 on...
10? Okay.
I got a 10 on my research.
16 on magic theory for me.
All right. So Nigel did research first. Brad? Lost Brad.
I thought you said just go straight into magic theory.
Okay, I was making sure it was magic theory. So you got a 10 and you got a 16?
That's right.
You're not sure how to tie them. But theoretically, if you could, yeah. As Nigel would put it, the math works if you can find the bridge. But you'll probably have to. You'll have to do some more thinking on how to make that connection work with the Fey items. It's not coming as easily. All right. Unless there's something else that somebody has, we are basically to the handing back the watch and exchanging of weaponry. That was a good tie-in, Drew. Good thinking.
Yay. Apologies for forwarding the plot.
So, nothing else? We are moving to the exchange. So, you guys are basically at the office that day. Oh, wait. There was something else. Unless, well, he might have totally forgotten. Give me a perception for Waymont, please.
A perception?
Yeah.
I mean, Waymont's had his head entirely in the clouds.
Yeah, you're lucky I'm not giving you negatives. Because your head is totally in the, oh my gosh, what can I actually do with this?
So,
you can set parrots on fire.
Straight perception?
Straight perception.
9.
There was a job offer as part of your luncheon that you might
yes.
not have remembered for a day or two, just to be honest.
A
little busy.
I will approach people about that once I go, oh, yes, of course. Wow. Sorry. Yes, we've had a job offer.
Oh, marvelous.
Mrs. Price is looking through her notes going, I don't have any.
Oh, it's from a third party.
Oh.
She wants us to go and pick something up.
Lovely.
In the grove.
Us or you?
I mean, collectively.
Is it the guy we're looking for in the groove?
Collectively, she asked me, but I would be happy to bring you all along to your companions, and I'd like us all to get paid. Not that I'm entirely sure exactly what we would be getting paid at the moment, but I just wanted to sort of see how you felt about it.
As long as it doesn't involve any long-distance boat rides, my family has a terrible problem with those.
I'm pretty sure that there's no boat rides going to be happening here. You see, the item that we've got to pick up is about 3 hours journey outside Fort Alice.
Walking, riding, train?
I imagine that since she didn't specify,
she said riding.
We'd be riding. Yeah, riding.
Oh, marvelous.
It starts with a train ride and then what, a horse ride? Or more trains?
I mean, well, it's Fort Alice, so probably a horse ride. Like, the railway network there is... I think.
Well, around the fort is fairly well established from what I've heard. Getting out into the other regions, it's still being worked on.
I suppose it depends exactly what direction it's in 3 hours outside it.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a box. Weighs about 5 pounds, is about 3 by 3. Waymont will wave his hands. I'll get more details on it if we choose to accept based on these circumstances.
I'm not entirely opposed to it.
Not exactly equipped for going into the grove.
I thought we were supposed to go and do something to find a guy who was connected with the groove. If it works with that, that's great. And also, I don't think I can ride a horse.
Don't worry, I can teach you.
I think he means physically.
Find you a very big horse.
I think he means physically.
Yeah, 20%.
Because he weighs, what, 600 pounds, give or take?
Yeah, somewhere there.
And have to be a very strong horse.
I was going to say, even like a Clydesdale would probably struggle with carrying him. Pulling him, maybe not, but carrying him, probably. Oh, Dr. Well, do you remember? I will go find out.
I found it.
Okay.
It's Dr. Ferris McFly.
Yeah, Dr. McFly's interesting land of blowing things up. All right, that's off topic.
Oh yeah,
you guys were discussing.
I was just thinking,
Go ahead.
Finding old journals from him for.
I don't know about that.
Well, push comes to shove, we might be able to rent a truck.
Discussing, yes, maybe doing a job where you pick something up in the grove.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
We could rent a truck and use the truck to get out there.
I'm able to understand that the major survival skill needed with the grove is a good pair of eyes and a healthy mistrust of the plant life.
And can you refresh us on the particulars for the man we're looking for and why we thought he was in the grove, or why I have that connected? What's going? Facts
in the Fae, because we got that letter back from the Dormice. It looks like they might have found.
And just so as a point of reference, the grove is not the same as the Fae realm. And I don't know how much you would know about going through the tunnel.
They had an experimental airship that they found the remains of the airship, but they thought it was going through the Fae realm or something.
I don't think there was anything.
You don't know much about what the experimental, just that it was experimental and that the plane crashed, but he wasn't found with it. There was no body found. But I don't know that. And so they, for some reason, think it's tied to the Fae because they asked you guys to look into it. Right, the gal from the Knights gave us his name and the picture and the kid's picture because we wanted to help the family. At least that's where Mac was coming from. And find the dad. And I just like I said, I'm just not clear on that plot line where it all was and where it was going.
I think we sort of possibly at the stage with that one of providing the information that we may be able to find something to the ground lights, then awaiting further instruction.
Okay.
So they were asking us the question was, can we use the dormice to track somebody down?
And for some reason,
Smiley face suggests yes.
So for some reason, Angela thinks, or the Knights think that it has something to do with the Fae. Otherwise, they wouldn't have asked you to try this, right? 2, the only movement with that, as far as things go, is that the Fae mice seem to have sent back a picture sent back the child's drawing of the family with a smiley face, and that's all you know on that. As far as the grove, there's nothing that ties these two things together as far as you know.
Oh, thank you. That's what I was trying to parse out. Like I said, when you play once a month, it's like I lose track. So thank you for the clarification. No problem. And hopefully everything goes back to every other week. I shouldn't be adopting any more dogs. Got my hands full as is. I do.
Shouldn't doesn't mean won't.
Honestly.
Won't there be a break when you travel for Fraser's delivery?
Right now, let's see if it hits your guys' weekend. That is not the correct button. All right. Hold on one second. So.
Because I have a note to make you a belated birthday cake.
Oh, you don't have to. I appreciate the thought, though. I looked for a baker out here and I couldn't find anything because it's the middle of nowhere. Yes. In late March. And depending on things, I might still be able to run it. It depends on if we're still on the road. We will see closer to March. But yeah, March 23rd is in question due to traveling to Oregon with Fraser.
Yeah, we don't just I was hoping to cross over because Ross and Carol and I were talking about a visit when you were in town, and if it goes into early April, we'll be back from California.
No, it
But if
won't
it
go
doesn't
that
look at
long.
open
I'm
something in
looking
town,
at
so.
the 20th,
And apologies
traveling
for
out
the
there,
time take up.
which would put us out there around the 23rd, and then Fraser and I would stay for about 3 days, and we would be heading back around the 26th. So with travel, it's going to be 9-10 days, but it'll be that end of March, around the 20th, somewhere that I'll be somewhere 24, 25, 26 ish. I'll be in Oregon.
Gotcha.
Which that one game does come into question. We will cross that bridge when I know a little bit more about travel plans. We had to move. I had to move Fraser's shot because you couldn't get into the town where the vet was. So instead of having it last Tuesday or Wednesday, we're having it Monday. And I want her to have
bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's going to be end of March. Okay. But otherwise, we should be back to normal. Where were we? You guys were discussing the possible whether you're taking the job which goes into the grub. August wants to ask Miss Price if there's anything else she needs.
Yeah, he's not keen on the idea of going to the grub. Yeah, you must say.
Unfortunately, she doesn't have anything for you at this exact moment. That doesn't mean things won't change. But sadly, at this exact moment, she doesn't have any particular...
Does not have an excuse for you to not join us.
Yes.
God damn.
With the session up.
I was gonna say August. You could always go to the Fae realm and try to figure out what the smiley face means. I mean, there's that.
Also no.
Also no. Huh? All right.
Well, we could just let the knights know about the smiley face.
Yes.
You can absolutely send a note to them about that. And technically, you have... She didn't give you necessarily an exact, like, I need to know by Friday. So you probably have a little time to decide whether or not you want to go to the grub or not. We've got about 10-15 minutes left. Do you want to hand back over the watch and trade guns?
Yep.
Sounds like a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
So while you guys are discussing this whole grub maybe excursion, Mrs. Price stepped out to answer the door. She comes back in saying that you have company. Should I send them to the meeting room or the parlor?
Sounds like an idea.
A meeting room, I think.
Okay. So it's the swordswoman, the snark, and the gunslinger, Noah. And Mrs. Price does exactly what, Miss Price does. She offers tea, biscuits. What can she get? Make sure you're all settled with drinks and snacks, because that's what she does. And then she excuses herself to get out of your way.
I give extra biscuits to the orc.
The snark nods at you, but he has like he still has the evil eye for Waymont.
Waymont will produce the watch. Here you are.
There's, I guess, a grudging respect type of thing, because you actually handed it over and it wasn't an issue. What'd you learn?
Now keep that safe. That's a very interesting artifact.
What'd you learn?
I haven't seen anything like it before. I discussed it with my compatriot here, and it's almost as if you can bind yourself to it somehow. And if you do, then it will strengthen over time.
Let's see what his magic fairy says. Ooh, piece of candy. How would you bind yourself to it, though? Like, he actually,
Now
like,
that's...
it's almost, and I think that Waymont might have a little respect for it. Once he starts talking about this and starts wrapping his head around the idea that that's a possibility, his demeanor changes. And it's a lot closer to yours when you were figuring it out.
Come over here. Have a look at this. These are the notes I've made, and I'll gesture him over to a large chalkboard with lots of symbols and stuff.
As for the rest of you, somehow the man who wanted to possibly tear his head off and do vile things to it is now best buds with Waymont in discussing possibilities of how one would do this. And he's doing... Oh, wow. Whoa. Oh, my gosh. That 6 really likes me today. 6, 12. He got a 28. He actually starts talking ideas that make a lot of sense to you and Nigel about how one might actually tie themselves to. And he's comparing it to the wards. Yeah. The rest of you may or may not care at all for this conversation that seems to have been going on for quite a while.
Nope.
So the swordswoman looks at you, Morgana, and says, "Every last damn one of them. They're like children with a new toy. Except then they find out that somebody else's toy is slightly different. And then they're children who are trying to connect their toys." But
I suppose we all have our passions, but and their toy is so very new, I suppose.
She shakes her head. She just looks at this like, you're kidding me. Now, Noah goes over to River. And it's that Texan smile again. And he hands back your rifle. It's very obviously been cleaned, like down to the springs.
So he'd realize that it's forged.
Sorry, try that again, River.
He'd realize that it's forged.
Oh, yeah, no, he would definitely know that. But he cleaned and oiled the entire thing. He didn't do any harm to your forging. He just took very nice care of it and made sure it was properly, Where did you find that? Did you make that?
I used the generator.
Oh my gosh!
What posted? Where has he posted it?
In the main chat room for FreedoniaCon.
Jeez.
Yeah, you can tell it's done the generator because the text is off. It can't do words.
No, even if you tell it what words, it messes it up. But it's perfect.
But for doing it quick, that works.
You get awesome points.
All right. Wow. So yes. So he obviously professionally cleaned and oiled your rifle. He would definitely know that you made it better. And he didn't do any harm to that. He just cleaned it and took very nice care of it. And he hands it over very politely.
Puts it up in the carrying case that she has for it.
And he puts his hand out.
She shakes his hand.
He kisses the tip just barely around your knuckles instead of shaking it, and goes, Well, it's a very, very good idea to find a way to kiss the lady's hand. However, my revolver. You're
What's
supposed to
that?
trade back.
Oh no. She didn't trade the gun. She traded the gun for the watch.
Oh,
Not
I
the
misunderstood. I
rifle.
thought you took his revolver.
Yeah.
And
No.
Okay.
She
For the watch.
she gave
Okay.
the gun as the collateral.
Got you. That makes a lot more sense. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm glad you clarified that. But yeah, so
she gave up the.
But he took very nice care of your rifle. It's nicely cleaned and well and everything. He kisses back your hands and then I guess says, so when are we having dinner? And he gives you that smile. I mean, like, if you want, I'll roll it, but he is very obviously trying to be charming.
Well, it all depends on the schedule. We have a couple of out-of-town contracts to deal with.
How about tonight? You're obviously in town. I'm in town. It's a good night.
Fair. Where would you like to meet?
He'll name, I guess it's a pub technically, and give you a general idea of what neighborhood, where it's at, street address type of thing. It's near the corner of blah and blah. He says it nicer, with a Texan drawl. All right. Anybody have anything else before you guys make decisions on what you're doing as far as going to the Grove? Making new friends. Sorry, Mac?
I would like to mention, yes, I would like to mention to the orc, just work into the conversation when it's appropriate. Their former target seems to be willing to let the matter lie, although security has been increased. However, should his that detente can be easily shattered if there's anything else that goes on with that particular target, and they should just be aware of that for their future plans. In a nice one shadow runner to another kind of way.
Okay. He nods. Anybody else? Anything else I should know before we close the session?
Don't believe so.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, I think that means everybody gets to say goodbye. Oh, wait, XP. So 600. An extra
600.
50 for August and for Morgana and River.
Thank you.
And Nigel. Drew gets an extra 100 and Waymont gets an extra 100. But everybody else got 50 extra. Very good role play.
I didn't choose violence. I'm so proud of myself.
I wasn't sure how this was going down. I had for whichever way it went. However, it might be nice that you guys have possible friendly backup.
Exactly.
So, I mean, never hurts to have a couple of extra possibly weapon handy or mage people. I mean, Waymont's making friends,
Well,
and
not to mention just underworld contacts.
That's also very true.
Yep.
It is definitely people you could talk to and ask questions of. Although I will
Morgana's
say,
already interested.
Morgana, the thief guy, doesn't really like you.
Yeah. I don't really like him. It's fine.
just shocking.
He particularly doesn't like his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, he uses that to do things. I'm just saying. Just gonna throw that out there.
Not to Morgana.
Well, he won't be doing those things for a while with his jaw wired shut.
Yeah.
I called non-lethal. But
All
Morgana
right.
might be interested in taking some sword fighting tips from the sword fighting lady, because that would be useful.
She's interesting. I think you'll like her. All right. So our next planned would be.
Also, I'm seeing the parrot when they come to visit us because the parrot wasn't with because he was delivering the ring.
That's true. The 9th of March. We all good?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Perfect.
Sure.
Everyone would like to say goodbye, and then I will close the stream.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Just imagine me waving.
Just imagine Joel waving. There you go.
Bye-bye.